9 rebounds, 6 assists. He stands at center court opposite Daniel Gafford. It's the Rockets in white, the Mavs in blue. The opening tip is up, and it's won by the Rockets. It's in the hands of Amen Thompson, who turned 23 years old yesterday, took over the point guard duties for them this year. He's got it inside the arc on the near right side. For the left-handed dribble, he feeds Jabari Smith. 16-foot jumper straight on, no good. Rebound batted around, and a foul is called on Dallas. Alperen Sengun, left short corner, got smacked in the face. And so that's a loose ball foul against P.J. Washington of the Mavericks, their first.
So you got a wide pin down for Jabari Smith, and he just used his size. The defender was there, but immediately they're crashing the offensive glass. Alperen Sengun got it. They had to foul him.
Sengun's got it at the three-point arc, left side. He spins, 2 dribbles, kicks to the near side corner, an extra pass. Smith, right wing 3, and it bounces off, no good. Rebound taken down by the Mavericks. 11:28 first quarter, first possession of the game for Dallas. Najee Marshall with a bounce feed, high left angle. P.J. Washington turns to face, dribbles right side of the lane, and a runner goes. It's 2-0 Dallas here on the road in Houston.
So you got a ball screen inside the three-point line. So if you make any mistake, if you're late, there's just no time to recover. He's at the rim.
Near side wing, Tari Eason, great three-point shooter. 2 dribbles into the lane, his shot short. Offensive rebound, Sengun. Kick out left wing, Durant. He dribbles to the short corner, finds Thompson. Free throw line jumper. Circles around the rim, no good. Rebound, Marshall. And it's Dallas up the floor from right to left.
No one even thought about guarding Thompson there, and he gets inside and still wasn't able to score.
P.J. Washington, high right angle, feeds Flag above the left elbow. 17-footer, shot is short for the Mavericks' leading scorer. Still 2-0 Dallas, a minute 20 gone by. Durant for the top of the key. Lobs first marker, far side of the lane, Sengun. He gets doubled. It's a kick out. Eason, right side 3 on the way. Good for Tari Eason, who shoots 47% from 3, second in the NBA.
He's really worked on that, and that's one thing the Rockets do well, make you pay for double teaming.
3-2 lead for Houston, and a missed layup by Najee Marshall. Rebound Houston. They push the pace up the floor. Durant, nifty pass under the basket. A shot is no good for Amen Thompson at the rim, but he got fouled on his rise there. Kevin Durant threaded the eye of a needle with that pass to the basket, and it's Thompson at the line right side, shooting 2. 10-15 first quarter. Rockets 3-2 lead over the Mavs.
So even though they're not a fast-paced team, they are opportunists, and they do have athletes. And Amen Thompson is definitely one of those guys. And he can run with the best of them like a gazelle. He missed that first free throw, but you think about the way he's been playing, averaging almost 19 points a game. Lately, even more. He's getting more and more comfortable with the ball in his hands. They trust him to make decisions, and why wouldn't they?
Second free throw is good, so it's 4-2 Rockets over the Mavericks. Personal foul on Daniel Gafford of Dallas, his first team second here in the first quarter. Ball's in the hands of Cooper Flag, guarded by Kevin Durant, left of the lane. Flag floats it with the right. It went halfway down and out. Durant with the rebound. Starts the break. One long bounce pass up ahead at the basket. And it's Flag with a denial at the rim against Tari Eason. Mavericks can tie or take the lead here on this possession. Marshall, 14-footer straight away. Shot puts it wide to the right. Durant with a Houston rebound. A bounce pass ahead over the timeline to Thompson, back to Durant. He passes to his right to Smith and gets it back. High right wing. Durant with a lob above the left elbow for Sengun, guarded by Flag. One dribble right, Sengun step through, puts it up, shot no good, rebound for Dallas.
Cooper Flag held his ground on Sengun.
Gave him some space and let Sengun go to work. It's Marshall to the rim, from right to left, and an easy uncontested layup. We're tied at 4.
Well, Sengun fell over, so the Mavs had numbers. It made sense. They attacked.
He was wide open. Thompson, left angle with a one-handed feed into Sengun on the short corner far side. One-on-one against Gafford. Flag comes over to double. Kick out. It's Eason from the near side corner. Dribbles right side into the basket. Gives to Sengun in the lane. His lefty shot is short. Rebound batted around baseline. Houston's got it. Eason pivoting. And now kicks it out. Amen Thompson on the far side, who gives to Durant between the circles. 5 on the timer. 6th best scorer in NBA history. Durant, 17-foot pull-up. Off the back rim, it bounces top of the backboard, and a 2-hand rebound for Daniel Gafford of the Mavericks.
That's well defended. You can't be discouraged when they get the offensive rebound.
Flag driving to the basket left side. He got fouled. He's hoping that was on the rise to the rim. Foul was on Tari Eason, his first and Houston's first.
Everybody's watching Cooper Flag. How do you follow up a 49-point night? He's attacking early, and it's so smart because you want to get down there before this defense is set. This is one of the best defenses in the league. You mentioned their size. Why not attack before they're ready, before their feet are set and they're ready to move their feet? And he's of that mindset.
Mavericks inbound the ball in the front court left. It's Gafford just inside top of the key. Handoff Christie, 17-foot jumper, no good above the right elbow. And the loose ball corralled by Kevin Durant. Tied at 4, 8:29 first quarter. Slow start shooting for these teams. Houston 1 of 9. Durant drives, floats it, misses wide to the right, and the Rockets are 1 of 10. Tari Eason has their only made basket. Flag in the lane, dunks it, missed it, and got fouled. It was a shovel feed from P.J. Washington from the left side of the lane to the right for Flag. And Cooper Flag will shoot 2 with the left side for Dallas.
So Alperen Şengün was basically showing double team as P.J. Washington had the ball. And again, they're running and trying to get down there and attack before the defense is set. And because Şengün kind of slid over to double team the ball handler, he had a bad angle to get back to Cooper Flag, who was wasting no time. Unbelievable. One thing I love about his game, too, he's been performing so well in the clutches. He made the first free throw. I believe last time I looked, he's like 16 of 23 in situations where it's a shot to either tie or go ahead. He made one of those in that Charlotte game, that 3-ball. So to get to the point as a teenager where your teammates are actually trusting you to take those shots is one thing. That's a huge accomplishment. But to actually step up and make those shots is another. That's amazing.
Flag goes 2 of 2 at the line. What's amazing, through 44 career games, today's his 45th, he made 1 fewer basket than Kevin Durant. Şengün rising up on the left side. It's knocked away by Gafford and out of bounds off of Dallas. Şengün was thinking he got fouled there. He did not. And here comes the first substitution of the game for either side. It's Dwight Powell, the 12th-year center for the Mavericks, replacing Daniel Gafford.
And that's big because I said it. Gafford is the reason they've improved when it comes to opponent points in the paint. So Dwight Powell is tagging in. He's got to do an admirable job, too.
Rainbow entry feed. It's Şengün in the short corner far side. Into a dribble handoff for Durant. Guarded by Powell. He's got a mismatch. Spins, fades, and scores in the lane. Kevin Durant's first bucket of the night. And it's Houston and Dallas tied at 6.
It was 2 defenders. They were trying to double team him there, but he just split him with a spin move. How many times do you see that?
Now one of the best mid-range shooters in the history of the league. 51% in the mid-range this year. 4th in the NBA. Flag with a hard kick to the basket. Lays it up with the left and scores. 8-6 Dallas. 7:30 in the first.
He loves going left and finishing left.
He finishes, though, equally well with both hands at the rim.
It's unbelievable.
Is not easy to do.
Anytime he sees an angle, he's going.
Durant top of the key. Gives to a cutting Şengün. Streaking left. Layup no good. Houston 2 of 13 from the floor. Najee Marshall right to left. Bullies his way against Durant. Lays it up. It doesn't fall, but it's a foul at the rim. KD was there, and it looks like he'll get called for the personal on a strong take from Najee Marshall in his 6th year out of Xavier.
This is the theme of the night. Attack before the defense is set. Najee Marshall sees one man. It is Kevin Durant, a footer, an active footer at that, but he has the strength advantage, he's thinking. So he's going to try to go bully ball, try to cave his chest in as he misses the first free throw. But Najee Marshall's been playing well. And again, with all these injuries, these guys are feeling wanted. They're a part of the offense, and they have to rely on guys like him to attack and be aggressive and produce. And he loves that. This is what these guys work all their careers for, to be in situations like this. You don't want your teammates to get hurt, but anytime the opportunity is there, you have to be ready.
Najee Marshall, 80% at the stripe, goes 0 for 2, so it stays 8-6. Mavericks over the Rockets here in Houston. 7 minutes to go first quarter. Josh Okogie, the guard, just checked in for the Rockets, replacing Jabari Smith, so they get a little shorter. Here's Okogie off the bench, corner 3 near side, off the feed from Durant, and gives the Rockets a 9-8 lead.
There's 3 defenders around Kevin Durant, so everybody else has to be ready to shoot.
Flag, short corner, far side, double team, threads it in for Powell, who hit the layup off the bottom of the rim, no good. Rockets run from left to right with a 1-point lead. Inside out dribble, Thompson in the lane, 10-footer, shot puts it in. 5 straight for the Rockets, they're up 11-8 over the Mavs.
It feels like he can get that shot basically whenever he wants.
Flag between the rings in the front court left. Has a Powell screen right, takes it, gets by Okogie, lofts a pass near side. Washington open 3-pointer, off back rim, and the rebound tracked down by Eason. He feeds Durant on the right block, front court right, fadeaway jumper, got it. He can get that shot anytime he wants to. A 7-0 run by the Rockets has given them a 13-8 lead. Timeout, Dallas.
It's only right because Kevin Durant made the defensive play. He got in, clogged up the paint. They're saying, Dallas, we don't think you can beat us shooting over the top and making threes. They can struggle there. So get down there, run the floor, lead them, lead him into his mid-range jumper where he's a sniper.
6:12 to go in the first quarter here in Houston. The Rockets 13, the Mavericks 8. You're listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Running a business? You know that slow phone systems and missed messages cost you opportunities. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines communication, helps teams collaborate seamlessly, and respond to customers 24/7 with their AI agent. Join over 90,000 businesses using Quo. Try it free, then get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN, quo.com/ESPN. They'll even port your existing numbers for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
Access to education changes lives. That's why National University provides flexible online and hybrid programs from associate to doctorate degrees. Since 1971, NU was built to serve non-traditional, working, and military learners nationwide. NU understands the demands of work, family, and service. Each year, more than 130,000 learners trust National University to move forward. Visit nu.edu to learn more.
Which teams are making moves and which teams need to just flat out move? Your Saturday means I'm locked in and ready for First Take right here, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
A brand new tennis season starts down under. The Australian Open on ESPN. Fan favourites, dominant stars, and one of the biggest rivalries in sports.
Sinner and Alcaraz, this rivalry fast becoming one of the best in any sport.
The first tennis Grand Slam is here. The Australian Open continues through February 1st, only on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app.
This is Freddie and Harry.
Plenty of those naysayers have to shut it down for at least a couple of weeks involving Sam Darnold, because the only way they were going to be quiet would be if he not just played well against the opposing defense, but outplayed the opposing quarterback.
That's right.
For the first time in a long time, with a guy of that caliber involving Matthew Stafford, when many people did not think for 1 second that was going to happen.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. You're listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Just underway, first quarter here at Toyota Center in Houston. Mike Cousins and Kalena Azubuike, glad to have you along. An early 13-8 lead for the Rockets over the Mavericks. 6:12 to go here in the first quarter. Look at the Rockets. They've gone on a 7-0 run. They've hit their last 3 shots after starting out 2 of 12 from the floor. What's changed that's allowed them to get better looks?
I feel like both teams are kind of doing this. A lot of double teams. They're keeping 2 with Cooper Flagg, making him give up the ball, clogging up the paint, making them shoot over the top, and then getting down and running. And obviously on the other side with Kevin Durant, the Mavs are double teaming him, and they're really making the Mavericks pay for doing that, moving the ball around. He is trusting his teammates, like Ime Udoka said. That's one of the areas where Cooper Flagg is going to continue to get better, because in that last game against Charlotte, they double-teamed him late and he had a turnover there. If he could just take a beat, ball fake, fake high, go low, vice versa, I think he'll be better off there. But again, he's going to improve consistently there.
Mavericks have the ball. They're in their navy blue jerseys tonight here in Houston. It's Christie just inside the free throw line. Bottom of the tip circle. Gives top of the key for P.J. Washington. And it's pickpocketed to Ben Thompson. 3-on-2 from left to right. In the lane. Tari Eason. Scoop shot is good. And it's a 9-0 Houston run. They lead 15-8.
Houston's getting active with their hands now, and they have a lot of momentum.
Christie, top of the key off a feed from Brandon Williams into the game for the first time. Christie stops his dribble, gives to Williams, top of the key. Couple of between-the-legs dribbles, off to Christie. Now Williams, left side, high-arcing 3, off the back rim. P.J. Washington, offensive rebound, gives it up to Cooper Flagg at the right angle. Guarded there by Okogie, takes a Powell screen to the free-throw line. Leaps, floats it, scores, and got the foul as he went airborne as well. Cooper Flagg makes it a 15-10 Rockets lead, and will go to the line.
His ball screens are lethal. He's trying to go left, and Okogie fought over the top of that, but never really could get him square. And Alperen Şengün is just kind of showing, but not really making it tough for Cooper Flagg to get downhill and get to where he wants to go. He's just kind of there in no man's land. So Cooper Flagg is going to keep going here.
Cooper Flagg In a two-man race with his former Duke roommate Con Knippel, now with the Charlotte Hornets for NBA Rookie of the Year. Flagg makes the free throw, so he's up to 7 points to lead the Mavericks. The rest of the team only has 4 points. 15-11 Rockets by 4. Front court right, Şengün between the rings. Kicks to the far corner, Okogie. His second three-point try, no good off the iron. Flagg with an uncontested rebound. The point forward brings the ball up the floor, lobs it inside for Gafford. Kick out near corner, Williams open three, splashes it down. It's a 1-point game. Rockets 15, Mavericks 14.
He shoots 20%. Kevin Durant would rather get inside and make it tough on Gafford to score over a smaller defender and get out secondarily. They made him pay.
And Durant answers at the other end with a righty runner in the lane. KD's got 6. Durant has scored 30 at least in 4 of his last 5. And the one game he didn't, he still scored 24. Christie, left angle three-pointer. Rim, backboard, no good. Washington with the offensive rebound. Gives it up to Flagg, top of the key. 4.5 to go first quarter. Flagg hangs at the rim and scores, navigating the ball around the defensive Şengün.
On-ball defense is going to be so important for this Rockets team because they do drive a lot. And Cooper Flagg is one of those guys. He just blew by Shepherd like he wasn't even there.
Reed Shepherd, lethal three-point shooter, fires from the left angle. It bounced halfway down and out. Gafford with the ball. Mavericks down 1 as they come up the floor right to left. Washington, Euro stepping across the lane, puts it off the glass, and a follow right-hand jam from Gafford to put the Mavericks in front as they've gone on a 10-2 run. It's 18-17 Dallas.
So they've come out strong after that timeout.
Şengün, their center for Houston at the free throw line. Spins right, hangs, shoots, airballed it, but it's picked up by his teammate and stuck in. It's Josh Okogie, right place, right time.
Okogie's going to keep doing that. He was there the last time down, too, but he just wasn't able to get it. But he's crashing every single time. You got to crack him.
Rockets by 1. Neither team shooting 45% thus far. Christie on the run in the lane. Puts it up with the right. No good. Long rebound, top of the key. It's a fight for it. P.J. Washington had to go between his legs. Okogie comes away with it. Rockets run left to right. Tari Eason layup is good off the feed from Okogie.
So the Rockets are showing they can run, too. They can get out in transition and fast break.
And that's not their game. They're up 21-18. 3 minutes to go in the first, but of the 30 teams in the league, the Rockets play at the 27th slowest pace. Left angle, Williams, and a finger roll at the basket is good. A couple of Rockets crashed in on him trying to steal a loose ball. He took advantage, 21-20, Rockets by 1.
That played into his hand. The rest of the defense compromised.
Şengün went for a dunk. It bounced way long. It's Durant top of the key with an offensive rebound. He sends it to the far corner. Okogie, triple try. Air ball. Loose ball on the baseline, out of bounds, and it's Dallas ball. So Şengün started that possession going for a dunk. He is 0 for 6 from the floor. That is a surprising start to the game for Alperen Şengün. And with 2:37 to go here in the first quarter, it's the Rockets by 1 over the Mavericks, 21-20. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Evan Canty and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
If he doesn't get to the Super Bowl, it's no longer about the Bills organization letting Josh Allen down. It's about Josh Allen letting everybody else down because of all of the power and control that they have ceded to him. Joe Brady himself called him the leader of the organization. Damn it, it's on Josh Allen now. Nobody else.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
NBA Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's an interleague showdown at the Garden.
Dribbles to the right, takes 2 defenders, ducks under, up and under, layup's good. What a move by Doncic.
Luka, LeBron, and the Los Angeles Lakers go head-to-head with Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks.
Brunson with a jab step, fires a 3. Oh, what a big shot!
The Lakers at the Knicks. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern with tip-off at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app, presented by Indeed. Hey, did you miss Clinton and Friends?
I don't mean to sound Pollyannish here, but I assumed that First Ballot walked away a long time ago from Belichick as a result of the scandal. Just to a person, my assumption was, well, if you get caught up in football-related football scandals, the likelihood that you get voted in on the first ballot of the Pro Football Hall of Fame probably goes away.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Here at Toyota Center in Houston, 2:37 to go in the first quarter. It's the Rockets with a 21-20 lead over the Dallas Mavericks. We now pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed. Fourth and final regular season meeting between the Houston Rockets and the Dallas Mavericks. The Rockets by one with Kalena Azubuike, Mike Cousins, our producer Mike Martino, and our engineer Ifan Suniga here at Toyota Center. The Rockets do not play generally at a very fast pace this season, especially with some of their stars trending older. Kevin Durant, most notably among those at 37 years old. And they've got the lead in a game that has been pretty fast-paced so far.
It is interesting because there are some teams in the league that have a slower pace and still get out in transition and fast break whenever they can. But one thing when you're trying to deal with a team that plays as fast as the Mavs do, if you can get back, sometimes the counterattack is open, and you can run on them if you can get some stops. So that's a little bit of what the Rockets are doing right now, but it is a game of runs, and the Mavs are coming back strong and punching them too.
Mavericks have the ball, front court left, and a shimmy shake. It leads to an easy layup for Brandon Williams. He just got his defender to fall to the ground.
Jabari Smith Jr. bit the dust there. A little hesitation.
22-21, the Mavericks by one. Here's Clint Capella at center for the Rockets. He's in the game for the first time. Gives a couple feet to his left, top of the key. Now it's Shepard on the near side wing, guarded by Caleb Martin on the floor for the first time tonight for Dallas. Lob it up. Capella had to tip off his hands from Shepard, and the Mavericks come away with it. They run into the front court left. Williams right to the basket. Right-handed layup, no. Out of bounds, baseline left, and off the fingertips of his teammate Daniel Gafford. And now we've got Simone Jelks, one of the officials, changing that call. It's Mavericks ball.
A little indecision there. It looked like the Rockets knew exactly what Williams was going to do. He is a driver, and Gafford on the other side broke up that play. Snap at the drive, jump backwards, and break up the lob there. That's why he's been so good when it comes to guarding the paint. His instincts there.
Well, possession changes again. First they called it for Houston, then they were going to give it to Dallas, and now it's Houston again. Rockets down one against the Mavericks. Inside 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Reed Shepard, 16-foot pull-up jumper off the right elbow is good. He just dribbled across the court from the far side to the near side and handled it all himself.
And he got those screens, stagger screens. The last one gave him an opening.
Caleb Martin, top of the key. Shepard sinks off. Give it to Klay Thompson. Three-pointer, up and no good. Rebound to Jabari Smith in Houston.
The Rockets switched up and contested that jumper well.
Capella inside the arc, right side. Into a dribble handoff. Smith, free throw line straight away. Picks up his dribble. Feeds Thompson. Takes it 2 dribbles. Right side of the lane. Up top. Wide open 3. Jabari Smith. That goes down. They'll hit it if he's wide open. 26-22. Rockets by 4.
There was a lot of movement. And basically there was 4 defenders stuck in the paint at the end of that one.
Williams, top of the key. Swing it left. Caleb Martin. Shovels it back underhand with the right. Williams open, left side, takes the three-pointer, and hits. He responds to the Jabari Smith triple. 26-25, Rockets by 1, a minute to go in the first.
He's 20% from there. Anytime he hits a 3, it's a bonus for the Mavs.
Ben Thompson on the dribble. Gives it to Shepard. Just inside the arc right side. Backs out beyond the stripe, takes his dribble. Inside top of the key. Feeds Capella one-on-one. Back to the basket. Shoots it over his left shoulder and scores.
Capella is still a serviceable big, and he showed it there. Cisse was on him, and he had some space, no double team, like, I'm going to work.
Capella more important now than ever with Steven Adams done for the year. Foul on the perimeter as Brandon Williams started taking the ball to the basket from outside the arc left side. Stops the clock with 37 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
So they're going to give him the continuation. This is a good bucket. And it's interesting, outside the paint, it's the upward shooting motion. Inside the paint, it's the gather. So they're saying he's inside the paint. And they are kind of picking on Reed Shepard here. And they're looking to get him switched on to guys. And Williams is such a tenacious driver. He's live all the time, and he just kind of split the two defenders there. Reed Sheppard jumped out a little too far, and there was a little bit of a gap, and Williams is small enough and quick enough to get through that, and he played through the contact and finished.
He's got 12 points, first player into double figures, and at the line makes the first.
So now the Rockets can go 2 for 1.
Most points in any quarter this year for Brandon Williams. 30 seconds, shot clock is at 15. Here for Houston in the front court right. Durant, top of the key, blows by Martin, stops at the first marker, right side of the lane, gives to Capella, who jams.
Because Kevin Durant stopped in the paint there, that gave the defense time to commit 2 to him, and Capella was the beneficiary. His man came off of him.
So Durant, 6 points, but also 3 assists here in the first quarter. Williams trapped. He's pickpocketed at midcourt and then grabs Thompson around the waist.
That might be a take foul. It didn't look like he made a play on the ball. That's the key. If you don't make a play on the ball and you just grab a guy like that, they'll call a take foul. They want the game to flow. They don't want teams to just stop fast break opportunities and stop advantages without really making a play on the ball. So they're going to check this out.
Sean Wright is our crew chief tonight in his 21st season, joined by Jason Goldenberg in his 9th and Simone Jelks.
Or clear path.
So a clear path foul, definition-wise, is a foul that occurs when an offensive player is fouled during a transition scoring opportunity and no defender is in front of the offensive player. That appeared to be the case here because where the ball was, there were 2 Rockets heading toward the ball at midcourt. Brandon Williams was the offending player here, and he wraps his arm around the waist, kind of like the bottom part of a seatbelt in the car against Amen Thompson.
This could be either one, because it didn't look like that was a play on the ball. And
it was certainly not a legitimate play on the ball.
It was not a play on the ball. Brandon Williams, was he behind him when he fouled him? That's an interesting one. But it's definitely a take foul.
The play has been upgraded to a clear path foul where we shoot 2 shots and get the ball to the point of interruption.
So it's 2 shots and possession here as Amen Thompson was fouled at midcourt with 10.5 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and the Rockets with a 30-28 lead over the Mavericks.
I feel like they could have gone with either one.
Yes.
Honestly.
The only difference would have been how many free throws got shot.
Exactly.
And this one benefits the Rockets 2 free throws instead of 1 for the take foul. So it's Amen Thompson at the free throw line at the right end. Nobody on the lane. And he dribbles twice. The 79% free throw shooter makes the first. It's the Rockets by 3.
These are supposed to be the dog days of the NBA, but the Rockets have been looking pretty good, winning 7 out of their last 10. That last win against the Hawks starts a stretch for them where they have 5 games against teams without winning records except for one team. So they only play one team there. So they can kind of stack wins, maybe move up in the West, but they got high aspirations. I feel like losing in that first round against the Warriors last year gave them a lot of experience. Hard-fought battle, 7-game series. How do you make adjustments? Now you add Kevin Durant, you're a better shooting team.
They start the night just 2.5 back of Denver for 3rd in the West. Sheppard, free throw line, whips it out left side. Thompson finds Sheppard at the left angle. 3-pointer is short to end the first quarter. 31-28 Rockets at the end of one. Brandon Williams for the Mavericks is the game's high scorer with 13, and the Rockets are led by Tari Eason with 7.
It's going to be hard to get separation in this game. It's going to be a game of runs. Both teams are swinging at each other. The Mavs, it seems like every time I watch the Mavs, they're in a close game. They played 32 clutch games, so this could come down to the wire, but a lot of game left.
Those 32, most in the NBA,
Yes.
but they've lost 19 of them, also most in the NBA. At the end of one here in Houston, the Rockets 31, the Dallas Mavericks 28. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
The Hoop Collective Podcast.
Orlando is going to be one of a lot of teams. You know, the trade deadline, I think, might be quiet, but the summer, I think, has got a chance to be pretty spicy.
The Hoop Collective Podcast. Listen on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts. Amber and Ian.
Dan Orlovsky revealed on Unsportsmanlike that he had an offensive coordinator fall asleep during a game. Michael is calling us from South Carolina.
Just basically learn how to sleep and drive a tank at the same time. You just got to be a light sleeper. Don't sleep hard. That's all.
How does one ensure
people are driving tanks and they're sleeping?
Amber and Ian. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on Sirius XM Channel 80. The Rich Eisen Show.
Marcus Spears back here on the program.
My NFL Live crew, we make these picks, and people think we care about making these picks.
Talk about that
like we live and die by it. Sometimes I don't even look at it. I tell the producer, pick the game and the score. I don't get paid to pick games, because if I knew who was going to win every game, I'd just live in Vegas and be richer than all y'all. So,
The Rich Eisen Show from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe. Do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time. Save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Running a business? You know that slow phone systems and missed messages cost you opportunities. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines communication, helps teams collaborate seamlessly, and respond to customers 24/7 with their AI agent. Join over 90,000 businesses using Quo. Try it free, then get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN, QUO.com/ESPN. They'll even port your existing numbers for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
From our Granger studios, I'm Jim Bass. Well, earlier today, Brandon Miller led 6 players in double figures with 26. Hornets beat the Spurs 111-106. Meantime, they reached the half with the Wolves up on the Grizzlies 58-49, led by 16 from Ant-Man. Rockets came in 4th in the West, half game up on Minnesota, the Lakers, and the Suns, so a game they'll have an eye on. 31-28, Rockets up top. Started the second quarter from Houston with Glenn Azabuki and Mike Cousins.
Jim, thank you so much. It's not often we talk about a team that's outside of the playoff picture, but the Charlotte Hornets have the longest winning streak in the NBA right now, 6 straight games. That's the most consecutive games they've won since 2016.
The Hornets are a super talented team. Brandon Miller, obviously Con Knippel, the Duke roommate of Cooper Flagg. And you got Diabate, who's rebounding really well. But this game is interesting here because Brandon Williams is the reason I thought the Mavs could win the bench battle handily, and he's doing work right now.
Mavs have it. Klay Thompson for 3. He leaves it short from the left angle, gets his own long rebound inside the arc left side. Floats it off to the right for Williams, the game's high scorer with 13. Guarded by Durant, right elbow, shakes KD, shoots it. Wide left, rebound Capella, who gracefully drops it off to Reed Sheppard. Amen Thompson up the floor. Finds Tari Eason, who leads the Rockets with 7 through 1 quarter. Just past Thompson, high right angle, looking inside, not trying to shoot from there. Feeds Sheppard, cutting off a screen. 17-footer is pure for the second-year guard out of Kentucky.
It was back screen, then a wide pin down, and his defender just getting clipped. Screens defender isn't really stepping up to help.
Rockets by 5 over the Mavericks. Just about a minute gone here in the second quarter. Klay Thompson, shot fake, right angle, leaves it underneath. Gafford, 1-on-2, gets tied up by Sheppard, goes up and scores anyway. 3 defenders there. It's Gafford for 2.
That was an amazing pass and great hands to catch that when Kevin Durant ran Klay Thompson off the three-point line.
Rockets up 3. Durant with a one-hand pass to the near corner for Thompson. Kick it to the left wing. Sheppard into the far side corner. Eason, 2 dribbles. Dorian Finney-Smith, shot fake in the lane. Shoots and scores going baseline on his first shot attempt of the night. His 10th year out of Florida, averaging just 3 points a night in 16 minutes. Front court left, it's the Mavs in their road blue jerseys, Rockets in white. Thompson inside the arc, long 2, and that doesn't go, and it's tipped up and in by Gafford on the offensive glass. He's got 6.
He is active, and he's trying to give the Rockets a taste of their own medicine.
35-32, Houston with a 3-point lead. Left wing, three-pointer is up, off the back rim, no good for Finney-Smith, and taken down by Caleb Martin in his 7th year out of Nevada. At the high right angle, has Gafford setting a screen top of the key. Martin was open for 3, didn't take it. Gives to Klay Thompson, deep on the right wing, guarded by Durant. Gafford sets a screen, rolls, takes the bounce speed, goes 1-on-2, got stripped on his ascent to the rim, and the ball is out of bounds. Last touch by Reed Sheppard of the Rockets.
Well, they're just trying to get Gafford rolling to the basket. I was saying, give the Rockets a taste of their own medicine on the glass. One of the keys to playing this team is just to not get crushed on the glass, the offensive boards, and the second chance points. The Mavs are winning. They battled 9-4.
Inbound to Thompson in the left side corner. He hits the 3. Klay Thompson has his first made bucket of the night. Fourth most threes in NBA history, even though it's a career low in scoring for him this season. We're tied at 35. It's Durant on the far wing. He feeds across the lane to the right block. Capella, 2 dribbles in, floats over his left shoulder and scores right over Gafford. Durant has eyes on the back of his head.
It's like a skip pass, but into the post that Gafford was just off of him, ate up the real estate and just powered up.
Ball knocked out of Brandon Williams' hands in the front court left. It stays Mavericks ball. 9:21 in the second quarter. Rockets with a 2-point lead. Andrew Williams on the high right wing, guarded there by the 6'11 Durant. 2 dribbles near side, gives to Klay Thompson. He's pestered by Reed Sheppard, who's got his face right in Thompson's. Works through a screen into the near short corner. Thompson spins. Ball's knocked free by Sheppard, who starts to break left to right, and a foul is called in transition. The ball was knocked out of his hands. He fell to the ground near midcourt, and a foul is going to be called on Brandon Williams, his first for Dallas.
It looks like he's hurt. He got rolled up on there. He was grabbing that left, actually the right knee. The inside of it, it looked like. It looks like the Mavs were content to play out of Klay's action and his pin downs and let him come off and make decisions. But the Rockets were super active with their hands. Their length showed out there, and they forced a turnover.
And Brandon Williams was going to try and stay in the game. Sheppard ran into his leg, but he can't play through it, so he's replaced by the rookie out of Gonzaga, Ryan Nembhard.
Yeah, sometimes when you get nicked up like that, you want to let adrenaline take you the rest of the way, but it looks like it's a little worse than he thought. He's going to come out and get treatment.
Sheppard feeds Capella in the lane, leaping, throwing it up off the glass, no good. And here's Cooper Flagg back into the game. Lobs it over midcourt left for Thompson. In the lane to Gafford, running layup, dances off the rim, snatched down by Durant. Rockets by 2, 37-35. Durant transition 3. Shorts off the front rim. Flagg with a rebound, outlet up ahead near side to Nembhard. He wants to run behind the back in the lane. Crosses into the far side corner, keeping his dribble alive. 15 on the timer. Shares to Flagg between the rings, guarded by Sheppard. Takes a Gafford screen left. Flagg thought about a 3. Shot fakes. Now he's open as Sheppard flew by, and Flagg missed the triple. Rebound Houston. Sometimes the first look is the best one, and Flagg tried to reset, but his footing wasn't there.
Yeah.
Jabari Smith, left angle, gives it up in the corner to Finney Smith and gets it back. Had a screen right, dribbles left, pulls up with the left elbow, shoots, and leaves it short off front iron.
Klay forced him to the sideline, kept him there, was behind, but just kept working.
Flagg on the run to the rim, and jams it home with the right hand. Capella was there to contest, and a hair too late. Cooper Flagg with a highlight reel play to get to 11 points and tie the game at 37. 7:57 to go here in the second quarter. The Rockets and the Mavericks are even at 37. You're listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indy.
Access to education changes lives. That's why National University provides flexible online and hybrid programs from associate to doctorate degrees. Since 1971, NU was built to serve non-traditional, working, and military learners nationwide. NU understands the demands of work, family, and service. Each year, more than 130,000 learners trust National University to move forward. Visit nu.edu to learn more.
The Dominique Foxworth Show.
Which team do you think has a better shot of getting back to where they were this year, the Rams or the Broncos?
I think it's easily the Rams. Offensive line is good. If Devontae stays healthy and Puka stays healthy, you got 2 receivers. They got 2 running backs that are good, and Matt Stafford's coming off an MVP season. And they're in the NFC. They don't have to face nearly as many of those lights-out quarterbacks that you have in the AFC. So I think it's pretty obvious to me it's the Rams.
Check out the Dominique Foxworth Show anywhere you get your podcast.
This is Adam Schefter, and on this week's episode, the Patriots and Seahawks meet in another Super Bowl. The latest coaching news, plus what's next for the Rams and Broncos. The Adam Schefter Podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man, an 8-episode series, now streaming on Disney+.
A superhero remake, not exactly what we'd expect from an Oscar-winning director.
Simon Williams, audition for Wonder Man.
I'm going to need you to sign this, assuming you don't have superpowers.
I'll never work again if anyone found out.
My lips are sealed.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man. All 8 episodes now streaming only on Disney+.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, we'll get you ready for Super Bowl week. Plus, we're less than a week away from the NBA trade deadline. I'll tell you which teams need to make a deal. It's on Sportsman 6 a.m. Eastern right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Cause I'm showing out. Women's basketball, Sunday on SEC Network. Get out of my way, I'm out. Number 24 Alabama reloads, looking to right the ship.
Timmons fires. Timmons hits.
Step away. While number 6 LSU aims for another top 25 victory.
Flash A to the right. Yes.
Get out of my way, I'm out. Number 24 Alabama and number 6 LSU, Sunday at noon Eastern on SEC Network and the ESPN app.
Amber and Ian.
Vahe Gregorian from the Kansas City Star, columnist and Hall of Fame voter.
Do you regret the way that you handled it?
In some ways, maybe it would have been preferable not to, just because I knew there would be dissent and anger, but I'm not quite sure I understood that the vitriol would be what it is. But that comes with the territory, and so be it.
Amber and Ian, weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on SiriusXM Channel 80. You're listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Great game tonight here at Toyota Center in Houston. The Rockets and the Mavericks playing for the fourth time this year, tied at 37 with 7:57 to go in the second quarter. Mike Cousins and Kelena Azubuike still catching our collective breath, I think, after a Cooper Flagg dunk led to a Rockets timeout. Flagg, the rookie and leader in the clubhouse for Rookie of the Year, has 11. Brandon Williams with 13, and Flagg showing off his ability at the rim.
It is headhunting season for the rookie. It looked like he was shot out of a cannon. It's crazy. At 6'8", he can move at a different speed and kind of catch you off guard, but I think it's the Mavs' overall philosophy. They want to get down there before the Rockets are set defensively. And, again, Reed Shepherd was the only guy that could really do anything about Cooper Flagg getting to the rim. He just hit him with a mean crossover, and he was dead in the water before you can blink. The guy's at the rim.
So it's Rockets ball. They come up the floor over the Dunkstronaut logo. It's a dunking astronaut at midcourt.
That's what you call it? Okay.
That's what they call it.
I like it.
I'm just using the terminology in the Rockets glossary. 37 all. Alperen Şengün, quiet start offensively, takes it into the lane, fades away, shoots, and misses, leaving it short against Dwight Powell. Nembhard up the floor. He's running the point here. Brandon Williams, the leading scorer for the Mavericks. We saw him go to the tunnel with the athletic training staff, so more on that as we know it. Flagg drives to the rim, 1-on-2, and scores high off the glass. He's got 13.
I said they want to involve Alperen Şengün. He was just backing up, not really giving any resistance. Cooper Flagg is going.
Jabari Smith at the other end. Cans a three-pointer. He's only shooting 28% from deep this month, and he gives the Rockets a 40-39 lead.
I think that three-point shooting percentage is going to go back up. Nothing wrong with that jumper.
Flagg deep on the right wing. Hesitation dribble. Pulls up inside the arc. Off the front rim, no good. Smith with a Houston rebound. Quick outlet up ahead to Amen Thompson. Takes it top of the key. Leaves it for Smith. Shot fake. Blows by Nembhard. Pulls up at the elbow and scores a personal 5-point streak for Jabari Smith.
And because he just hit that last three, the defender closes all the way out, runs him off the three-point line, opens up his mid-range jumper.
Rockets up by 3. Nembhard at the left elbow. Pull-up jumper. Missed it long. Rebound Smith. Takes a bump from Powell and keeps on playing. Guarded by Flagg in the front court right. Shovels it back for Thompson. Dribbles into the lane. Bounces to the far corner. Smith takes 2 dribbles to the tip circle. Jumper swirls off the rim. No. And the rebound, P.J. Washington. Dallas with the ball. Coming to the front court left. Down 3. Nembhard shovels left in the lane. P.J. Washington with an acrobatic lay-in on the run to pull Dallas within 1.
Before the defense is set. Again, Alperen Şengün was the only one in the middle that could do anything about that. It was basically a 2-on-1.
42-41, Rockets over the Mavericks at the midway point of the second quarter. Amen Thompson, left angle, floats to Durant at the top of the key. KD's got 6 points on 3 of 6 shooting, takes it into the lane, fades away, and his shot just short off the iron. Rebound Dwight Powell in his 12th year. Feeds ahead for Nembhard, straight into the lane. Durant is there to deter him. Back out, Thompson, three-pointer. That's no good, and a high rebound grab by Houston. Klay Thompson, 1 of 5 from the floor for 3 points. Amen Thompson to Şengün. On the left side, in the lane, double team, gives it across over to Thompson, who missed the first shot, missed the second, and then got fouled as he went back up to the rim. 5:30 to go here in the second.
So Şengün has 0 points. This is a guy that averages 21 points. but they're double teaming a lot. And we talked to Ime Udoka about that. He's seen a lot of bodies, and he's not thinking about his points. He's selfish with it, and he sees his teammate Amen Thompson. He's flashed in there to the middle. His man is off of him, and he's on Şengün. So pass it to Amen Thompson. Let him attack. You get to the free throw line.
I think Thompson hits the first.
Yeah, I think the Rockets would love to have a great end to this first half here. And again, I said it's going to be tough to get any kind of separation. Whoever can finish this half strong and have momentum going into the third quarter is going to be big because it's such a tough battle going back and forth.
Kalena Azubuike's Instant Analysis is brought to you by SoFi. Get your money right. Rockets 43, Mavericks 41. Amen Thompson with a second free throw at the right side. He makes both. 2 of 2, and it's 44-41 Houston. The largest lead has been 7 from the Rockets. The Mavericks' largest advantage, just a single basket, 2 points. Nembhard between the rings, closer to the far sideline. Top of the key, open for 3, takes it, misses it off the back iron. It bounces off the top of the backboard and into the hands of Josh Okogie and the Rockets. Thompson pushing, coming off a career-high 14 assists on Monday. Lofts it to the far side corner, feed into Şengün. He pirouettes and scores over top of Dwight Powell. His first basket of the night, his 8th shot from the floor, and Jason Kidd calls a Mavericks timeout with 5:04 to go in the second quarter. Rockets 46, Mavericks 41. So Şengün, 1 of 8 from the floor. He's got 2. Cooper Flagg leading the way for the Rockets with 13. 5:04 to go in the first half. The Rockets 46, the Mavericks 41. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
When it's time to scale your business, it's time for Shopify. Get everything you need to grow the way you want. Like, all the way. Stack more sales with the best converting checkout on the planet. Track your cha-chings from every channel, right in one spot. And turn real-time reporting into big-time opportunities. Take your business to a whole new level. Switch to Shopify. Start your free trial today.
Empower. After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he can be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at Empower.com.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
When I wake up
the best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
Put on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like payroll manager.
Hi, my last paycheck was all in Icelandic krona.
You are welcome.
Welcome?
Given the exchange rate between the dollar and the krona, you're technically a millionaire now. Don't spend it all in one place.
I can't really spend it anywhere.
There's always Iceland.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Jim Basketball from our Granger Studios. They've reached the half and South Beach with the heat up on the Bulls 63-56. Jaime Jaquez has 14 points. Sixers learning of the 25-game suspension for Paul George today, leading the Pelicans 102-96. 7.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Joel Embiid has 28 points. Rockets spreading the wealth. Not one player has reached double digits yet, but they're up 46-41 with 5:04 left in the second quarter. We're back to Kalena Azubuike and my cousins.
Most surprising number among that scoring might be Alperen Şengün, who, Kalena, you pointed out a couple minutes ago, averages 21. He's their second leading scorer, has only 2 points.
He's been pretty unselfish, and he's seen a lot of bodies, but they're going to try to get him involved offensively because the Mavs are keeping him involved on this side of the floor where they're attacking.
And the Mavs have it. It's in the hands of Naji Marshall. Gives to Cooper Flagg on the right side. Cuts across the lane. Lofts it up with the right. And misses. Houston comes up the floor. Smith, Şengün, Eason, Thompson, and Okogie here with 4:45 in the second. Şengün spins. Lofts it. Right-handed. No. Tipped around under the basket. Flagg had it for a moment and now does corral. He throws an overhead bounce pass up ahead. Washington leaping to the lane, and an over-the-shoulder layup doesn't go, but he did get fouled in transition by Jabari Smith. 2 free throws coming here for P.J. Washington with the Mavericks down 5.
Whenever the Rockets go for a steal and don't get it, especially when multiple guys go, it plays into the Mavs' hands. And Cooper Flagg was able to corral that one and kick it up ahead as P.J. Washington is in full stride. So they're at the rim again. But this is what they want to do really the whole game and the rest of the season. Just run. Get out and run. Any chance they get, any stop they get, they're trying to turn it back on you. Get out there before you're set defensively as P.J. Washington misses the first free throw. But it's such an interesting game because this is a team that drives so much. The Mavs do. They're 7th in drives. And a lot of times you just want to close out short to guys and gap guys, but they still are going to eat up the real estate and almost have even more of an advantage if they have you backing up, and that's what the Mavs want to do.
Washington goes 0 for 2 at the line, so Naji Marshall and P.J. Washington for Dallas have gone to the line and missed both free throws. Still a 5-point Rockets lead as they control in the front court right. Şengün works short corner, puts it up over Dwight Powell, and there is a whistle there. Şengün was waiting for that, and once the shot missed, that's where the whistle blew.
So he didn't waste any time there. The double team was coming, but he went so fast, the double team guy couldn't really do anything about it. He's going with the spin move and floater. He's so agile as a big. He used to say a Turkish prayer before he'd shoot the free throws. I'm watching his mouth. I didn't really see it move. He missed the free throw, so maybe he needed to say the Turkish prayer. Go back to that part of your routine and see if that works for you.
Perhaps some divine intervention for the second free throw could help Şengün, who is 1 of 9 from the floor, 2 points.
Look how he rubs the ball and kind of gets, whispers sweet nothings to it. Don't you want to go to your home? There you go.
He does. Happy Gilmore's hit right through the cylinder. 47-41. Rockets by 6. Their largest lead today has been 7. Mavericks led by Cooper Flagg with 13. He controls between the rings. Chest pass to the near wing for Naji Marshall, who holds over his head looking inside. Back to Flagg straight away. Off-balance pass. Christie, right wing. Three-pointer is good for the 10th best three-point shooter in the league. 47-44, Houston by 3.
So the Rockets went zone there, and you need a zone buster if you're going to defeat the zone. That is Max Christie at 44% there. They kind of swung the ball. He found an opening.
Men Thompson, high left angle. Gives it up. Tari Eason, a great three-point shooter. Drives in on Flagg. Steps over him. Gives it up to Şengün with an awkward pass on the left block. One-on-one against Gafford. Hook shot. Good for Şengün, who's heating up here. He's got 5, and the Rockets lead by that number as well.
As soon as we say he's got 0 points, he gets a little more active offensively.
P.J. Washington left block. Put it up short on a layup try, and the Rockets look to run. Left to right. Near corner. Okogie drives baseline. Hangs. Reverse layup. Doesn't go. Swatted out. And Şengün gives it up to Thompson. Now right of the lane. Jabari Smith guarded by Flagg. Steps back to create some spacing. Feeds inside for Şengün, who sees a double coming. Gives to Thompson in the lane. Touch pass. Up top. Smith. Three-pointer to beat the buzzer. And he nails it right before the shot clock expires. 52-44. Largest lead of the day for Houston.
The Mavs cannot keep up with that ball movement. Without KD in the game, they double-teamed Cooper Flagg here and did a little too much. He drew a foul. These are important minutes. The Mavs really need to win these minutes without Kevin Durant on the floor. And that's one of the areas the Mavs need to improve on. Whenever Cooper Flagg's not on the floor, they've struggled recently, but Cooper Flagg is on the floor now, so they got to capitalize.
Mavs get it in off the foul. Rockets stay in a 2-3 zone defense. Lob to Washington at the free throw line. Drives left, shot fake. Şengün goes by. He misses, and Gafford is there for the follow dunk.
Gafford is so important to them. And his man went and contested the initial attack on the rim, so that left him wide open. No one got down there to keep him off the glass.
Rockets front court right. Have the ball in a 6-point lead. 2.5 to go before halftime. Tari Eason, runner, missed it. He one-hands his own miss back to the basket. That was no good. Şengün tipped it to midcourt, into the backcourt, and it's tracked down by Jabari Smith, but no possession, so it's not a backcourt violation. Shot clock, though, still at 8 seconds. Smith at the left angle. Gives it up Tari Eason. Crossover dribble. Drives to the left elbow. Shot fake. Fadeaway. Jumper. No good wide to the right. And the rebound grabbed by Amen Thompson. And he sticks it in. An offensive rebound. And a killer for the Mavericks, who defended well.
The Rockets are just relentless on the glass. But the Mavs are doing okay. They're still winning the second chance battle, 14-11.
Down by 8, 54-46. Rockets leading. Gafford gets it underneath and dunks it. He got behind the zone defense, and Najee Marshall with a quick laser assist.
The whole defense was lifted. Alperen Şengün was at the free throw line, kind of in no man's land. Just forgot about him.
It's the only time in his life where a 6'10", 265 guy could be invisible. Amen Thompson surges into the lane. Bounce feed near corner of Kogi. Shovels at the tip circle. Şengün missed it. Gets his own miss. Tips it up, but a foul is called.
Offensive.
Yeah, and he got called for a push there, trying to volleyball tip his own miss in for 2 points.
He was so upset at himself. That's that push floater that a lot of these bigs are working on. Jokic has it. Zubac has it. Şengün went to it there, but he missed it. And he was so mad at himself. He just crashed in there, went crash dummy on him, and did a little too much over the back.
And Şengün, the center for the Rockets, 2 of 11. Kevin Durant, a very quiet first half, 6 points. He averages a team-high 27. 54-48, Rockets by 6 over the Mavs. 70 seconds to go in the first half. Flag draws 3 defenders, top of the key, kicks left. Marshall drives, tries for a reverse lay-in left to right, and gets fouled. Jabari Smith draws the whistle. That's his 3rd personal foul of the first half. 1:03 to go before the break.
Flag created that one because his defender was kind of in a no-middle stance. He angled his body that direction, and Flag was like, I don't care. I'm going middle. And that defender couldn't recover. He immediately gets the step and just kicks it to Najee Marshall, whose defender had helped, and that made it tough for his defender to get back to him. Kind of an awkward closeout. So Najee Marshall takes advantage and looks for another opportunity to drive. He did it perfectly. This whole team is looking for opportunities to drive. They play out of drives. Any open threes they get, that comes out of drives. They're just trying to collapse the defense, but driving is a way of life for this Maverick team.
Marshall goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Mavs have missed 5 of 10 free throws here in the first half. Kevin Durant back into the game to close out the first half for the Rockets. He's got 6. Feeds Thompson in the lane. 1 dribble, right side layup, no. Rebound Gafford, and an outlet up ahead to Christie with the Mavericks down 5. Christie 1-on-2 to the bucket, has it rejected at the rim. Out of bounds stays Mavericks ball at the left end by Okogie.
Yes, Josh Okogie is still big time defensively. The Mavs have actually been pretty solid defensively in this game. It's kind of a defensive battle.
Inbound to Christie, short corner. Lobs it out to the angle, right side for Gafford. Gives it up to Marshall. Takes his dribble into the lane, left side, puts it up and scores as he hits the deck. He collided with Durant's jaw. KD coming up the floor, holding his face. Lob to the rim. Jabari Smith puts it home on the feed from Amen Thompson.
They caught him sleeping. Everybody was kind of lollygagging back, and Jabari Smith Jr. was just sprinting.
Rockets by 5. Mavericks with the ball. Cooper Flag deep on the right wing, guarded by Durant, who's still checking his jaw. Flag on the take, into the lane. Lefty tried, no. Şengün with the rebound. Shot clock is off. It's Durant into the front court right to Jabari Thompson. Wraparound feed into the paint. Thompson. Kick it out. Smith. They slow it down. Şengün left angle into the far corner. It's Durant for 3. That's good. 6 seconds left in the first half.
That is unsalvaged. Jabari Smith Jr. had a wide open jumper. Decided to pass it up. Obviously to take up more clock. Swung it around, and KD was wide open.
Najee Marshall going to the basket. Pulls up at the left block. His shot is no good. And the ball loose at the free throw line, and that ends the first half. So on multiple occasions, the Rockets surged out to an 8-point lead. The Mavericks would nibble away, but 8 is the margin here at the break. Houston 59, Dallas 51.
It was hard work for the Rockets to come up with this 8-point lead at the half. They got the 30 points in the paint, really balanced scoring for them. You get Jabari Smith Jr. with a 13-point game, but they've shared the ball. They've gotten out in transition, a little bit of everything for them. A really solid defense all the way around. Even though the Mavs have tested them when it comes to driving and slapping the ground, moving your feet. They're going to need more of that in the second half.
Rockets 16-4 at home, the second best mark on their home floor in the NBA. And the Mavericks here on the road looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. At the break, the Rockets 59, the Mavericks 51. Now let's send it to Jim Basquill in the studio with the AutoZone halftime report.
All right, Mike, thanks so much. 13 apiece for Cooper Flagg and Brandon Williams for the Mavs. Kevin Durant, just 9 points at the break, but his team up 8, as they just mentioned. The NBA halftime show on ESPN Radio is presented by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Coming up next in the AutoZone halftime report, we'll dig into the Paul George 25-game suspension. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Running a business? You know that slow phone systems and missed messages cost you opportunities. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines communication, helps teams collaborate seamlessly, and respond to customers 24/7 with their AI agent. Join over 90,000 businesses using Quo. Try it free, then get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN, QUO.com/ESPN. They'll even port your existing numbers for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Jim Basquill back on the AutoZone halftime report where the Rockets lead the Mavericks 59-51 at the half. As we mentioned earlier, the Sixers' Paul George suspended 25 games by the league for violating their anti-drug program. It's his first violation. It'll cost him roughly $11.7 million of his salary. He won't return until March 25th. Philadelphia 16-11 when he plays. 10-10 without him. They stand 6th in the Eastern Conference. The Inside the NBA crew not exactly feeling George's reasoning.
This is a highly unusual and stunning development for one of the league's really great players in the past and someone of his caliber. But Paul George told me today in a statement that this occurrence happened for Paul George with this test that led to a 25-game ban due to an improper medication for a mental health related issue, not a physical one. Paul George told me that he takes full responsibility for his actions and, quote, poor decision making. And remember, back in 2020 during the NBA bubble, Paul George was outspoken about mental health that he faced during that time, even in the past few years. But he will now be sidelined through March 25th. He's going to be eligible for the last 10 games of the 76ers season. And in total, guys, this is going to cost Paul George almost $12 million.
When you look at Philadelphia, they've been making a little move. Number 6 in the East right now, over 500. We pointed out the other day, they were never above 500 last year, haven't been below 500 this year, in playoff position. What does this do to them?
You know, it's good to have, everybody ready to go, the full team when you're going into the postseason. It's unfortunate that this happened. But I just want to say that, they give us a booklet on what to do and what not to do. They give us a booklet. They also give you inside the booklet how long it takes to get rid of something. So, I don't want to elaborate what he was doing or what he was doing, but, stuff like this should not happen because they give you the booklet that says don't take this, and this, the letter of the law. Do not take any of these things. And when you've been in the league this long, you know what it is. They test you 3 to 4 times a year. So, but this is definitely going to hurt him. But, listen, Edgecomb's been playing great. Maxi's starting to play a little bit better. Embiid is coming back. They still have a little bit of momentum, so somebody else has have to step up. But when you're going into a postseason, you like to have a guy with experience like Paul George.
Well, if this is the accuracy of what happened, isn't this an oxymoron, like a contradictory of terms? Like you have mental health and you're taking medicine for it that you can't. That would be, to me, that's why I don't understand it. I'm not sure what drug or medicine that he was taking, but that is a contradictory of terms. So I'm sure that Adam Silver wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
That doesn't add up to me because, again, it's a contradiction. If you have mental health, there is nothing that you should take that help you that you can't take.
That's on that list.
There wouldn't be a list for that.
Shaq.
There wouldn't be a list for that.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not on that list.
It couldn't be.
But even if it's on the list,
They would let you take
They would let you take that for mental health.
For mental health.
And listen, Kenny, I'm 100% agree with you. It's something fishy going on here. Now, I don't joke around about mental health, but if you're taking some for mental health, that's got to be an outlier to the NBA.
Not a performance enhancing.
Yes. Come on, man.
That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make, listen, like I say, as my girl Judge Judy said, if it doesn't make sense to me, it don't make sense.
Late March is when he's scheduled to come back. Coming up next in the AutoZone Halftime Report, we'll take you around the NBA, including the Sixers in play. You're listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Access to education changes lives. That's why National University provides flexible online and hybrid programs from associate to doctorate degrees. Since 1971, NU was built to serve non-traditional working and military learners nationwide. NU understands the demands of work, family, and service. Each year, more than 130,000 learners trust National University to move forward. Visit nu.edu to learn more.
Which teams are making moves and which teams need to just flat out move? Your Saturday means I'm locked in and ready for First Take right here, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Cause I'm showing out. Women's basketball, Sunday on SEC Network. Get out of my way, I'm out. Number 24 Alabama reloads, looking to right the ship.
Simmons fires.
Step away. While number 6 LSU aims for another top 25 victory.
Flash to the rim. Yes.
Get out of my way, I'm out. Number 24 Alabama and number 6 LSU, Sunday at noon Eastern on SEC Network and the ESPN app.
This is Freddie and Harry.
Plenty of those naysayers have to shut it down for at least a couple of weeks involving Sam Darnold, because the only way they were going to be quiet would be if he not just played well against the opposing defense, but outplayed the opposing quarterback.
That's right.
For the first time in a long time, with a guy of that caliber involving Matthew Stafford, when many people did not think for 1 second that was going to happen.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Amber and Ian.
Dan Orlovsky revealed on Unsportsmanlike that he had an offensive coordinator fall asleep during a game. Michael is calling us from South Carolina.
Just basically learn how to sleep and drive a tank at the same time. You just got to be a light sleeper. Don't sleep hard. That's all.
How does one ensure
people are driving tanks and they're sleeping?
Amber and Ian, weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on Sirius XM Channel 80.
The Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny. John Harbaugh to the Giants, Kevin Stefanski to the Falcons, Sean McDermott fired, on top of course, Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh being fired, Jeff Hafley to the Dolphins, Robert Saleh to the Titans. Which surprises you the most?
The McDermott one was the biggest. It felt like he was coaching for his job in a way that we didn't anticipate before.
Check out The Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Organizations fail young quarterbacks before young quarterbacks fail organizations. And the avatar for that may just be Sam Darnold. At the end of the day, the patience that you have for a kid may run out. Wound up in the right spot, made the most of it, and now he's going to the Super Bowl as, wait for it, the first ex-Jet starting quarterback in the history of the Super Bowl.
The Rich Eisen Show, from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus. Previously on Clinton and Friends.
We get this bubbling up of people who act like all playoff games should be played in sterile, neutral situations to determine the true value of each football team. And I'm here to tell you that is absolute bunk. That is the kind of nonsense that aligns itself with something y'all know I have a strong distaste for, which is robot umpiring.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
ESPN Plus Hockey Night presents the Sunshine State rivalry.
It's always a battle when these two teams meet.
Panthers.
What a goal by Brad Marchand!
Lightning.
Nikita Kucherov! It's a lightning strike!
In the Battle of Florida.
Buckle up, strap in. It's going to be a tremendous show.
ESPN Plus Hockey Night presented by Honda. Panthers Lightning. Thursday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
We had an incident on my safari. Our guide said to us, his name was Equalizer.
Wait, I'm sorry, the guy's name?
Yeah.
There's no way his name was actually Equalizer.
That's what he told us to call him, Equalizer.
You think his birth name was Equalizer Jones?
You act like crazier things have not happened.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. You're listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Jim Basketball back on the AutoZone halftime report where the Rockets are up 8 on the Mavs halfway through. Let's take you around the league. Again, the Sixers learning of Paul George's 25-game suspension today. They're in the final seconds in Philadelphia, up 123-114 on the Pelicans. Joel Embiid has 38 points in that one. Pacers get just their 13th win at 129-124 over the Hawks. Pascal Siakam, 25 points of an 11 of 15 from the floor. Hornets over the Spurs today, 111-106. Brandon Miller at 26 for the winners. Games in play. Heat up 80-78 on the Bulls. They play third quarter while the Wolves have a 97-79 lead at Memphis. Ant-Man Anthony Edwards has 29 points to lead Minnesota. Coming up next on the AutoZone halftime report, the second half from Houston. This is ESPN Radio.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
Hey, did you miss Clinton and Friends?
I don't mean to sound Pollyannish here, but I assumed that First Ballot walked away a long time ago from Belichick as a result of the scandal. Just to a person, my assumption was, well, if you get caught up in football-related football scandals, the likelihood that you get voted in on the first ballot of the Pro Football Hall of Fame probably goes away.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Jim Basketball back on the AutoZone halftime report. Cooper Flagg following his 49 with 13 halfway through. Rockets lone player in double figures, Jabari Smith. We talked about their D. They have 4 steals, 2 blocks, and turned the Mavs over 4 times. It's equated to a 8-point lead. Start of the third quarter from H-Town with Glenn Azabuki and Mike Cousins.
Jim, thank you so much. We welcome you back here. What has been impressive, despite the 8-point deficit for the Mavericks, is what they've done on the glass. 16 second-chance points in the first half, which is the most in any half they've played this year.
The fact that they're not getting crushed by the Rockets is an amazing accomplishment there. I think the Mavs would love to get Cooper Flagg and Gafford working together a little more. They did a little bit there, but those two guys have played extremely well. Get Cooper Flagg's decision-making along with Gafford's rolls to the basket, his downhill attack, and then invert it. See if you can use Cooper Flagg as a decoy to get other guys going. Like, Brandon Williams has played well, Gafford and Flagg, but they need other guys to kind of join some of the fun scoring. So if you can get Cooper Flagg involved, creating separation for other guys, set some back screens, set some ball screens like they did last game for Max Christie to get downhill, because sometimes with all the attention Cooper Flagg is seeing, defenders don't want to leave him. It's basically like a double screen if he's setting a screen for you. So you get openings that way. And then when Klay Thompson comes in the game, use him as a decoy as well, even if he's not shooting it amazing, which he isn't. 1 for 4 from three-point range, 1 for 5 overall. But he still has some gravity. People still respect him as a good three-point shooter. They want to run him off the three-point line. So he can come out, guys jump at him, get rolls to the basket. He can set screens as well, which he's willing to do. So it's all about just finding some more creativity offensively for the Mavs.
Glenn Azabuki's halftime adjustments are brought to you by Kohl's. From jerseys to hats and more fan favorites, find everything you need to gear up for game day at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Mavericks with the ball to start, and on a drive by P.J. Washington, he hits the deck. Ball goes out of bounds on the baseline. Mavericks keep it with 13 to shoot.
It looks like they're of the same mindset. The Mavs are going, we need more guys join in, so immediately they run a play for P.J. Washington to get the drive, but they just collapse on him inside.
Najee Marshall inbounds baseline right, lobs it in for Gafford, the center, at the three-point line. Handoff for Christie, who takes his dribble right side of the lane, dribbles it off his shoe, out of bounds on the baseline. It's Houston ball.
So this time they say, Max Christie will give you a shot at it. So they get pick and roll with Max Christie and Gafford. He's kind of snaking through the defense and dribbles it off his shin bone.
Amen Thompson on the controls, just celebrated his 23rd birthday yesterday. Hands it off to Durant, lobs it right, and a jam! Alperen Şengün right down Broadway. Just his third made field goal. It's the Rockets by 10, their largest lead of the night.
Watch your head, Najee Marshall. He punished him there as a flare screen. Two defenders go out with a flare man. You get Şengün rolling to the basket hard.
Flag from the top of the key off of two Gafford screens. Missed his layup and was there on the right side to stick it back in. That's 18 second chance points for the Mavs.
Well, they're trading buckets, but the Mavs have to get some stops now.
Minute into the third quarter, Rockets 61, Mavericks 53. Mavericks dislodge the ball out of bounds far sideline, and Amen Thompson will trigger it in at the free throw line extended.
I think Max Christie heard me, so he's like, I'm going to get my hands active, get a steal. He almost did it.
It's Durant at the left elbow after Şengün just came over and handed it to him. Durant, fadeaway, and he hits. Kevin Durant has 11. He's into double digits.
That was one of the more funny-looking contests I've ever seen from P.J. Washington. He's like, no, he's shooting another mid-range. Let me just get a hand up. Didn't do anything, though.
Flag, free throw line, kick out. Najee Marshall, three off back rim, rebound. Amen Thompson, the point guard, starts the break from right to left, swings it left. Into the corner, it's Durant up top, straight away. Eason, three-pointer, off the iron. A strong rebound by Christie. It got swatted away by Thompson. And then Marshall controlled for the Mavericks. Rockets 63, Mavericks 53. Between the rings, P.J. Washington drives in against Şengün, lowers the shoulder, shoots, scores, and draws the foul. It'll be a chance for three for P.J. Washington, who went full running back through the hole into the chest of Alperen Şengün.
And he signaled that Şengün was too small. He gave him the too small signal after that one. That is savage. Gave him a little crossover. So much space to work with in the middle. The rest of the Rockets were just hugged up on shooters and everybody else, so plenty of room for him to operate. And then he told him he was too small after that. That's the best time to do it. When you're a smaller guy and you attack and finish over a big man, the best time to go, you're too small.
And Washington gets all three as he makes the free throw. Rockets 63, Mavericks 56. 10 minutes to go, third quarter. Thompson, top of the key. Left for Durant, above the elbow. Dribbles with the right hand, right of the lane. Fadeaway jumper. Dances off the rim, no good. Rebound, Najee Marshall for the Mavericks. Şengün fell to the floor. It's a 5-on-4 left to right. Marshall into the lane. To the corner for Christie. He's hot from there. And his three-pointer pops out like a Pop-Tart out of the toaster oven. 63-56. Mavericks with the ball in white in the front court left. Şengün spins in on Gafford. Hooked him a little bit, but scores with the right hand. And then asks where the foul was.
Şengün does like attacking from the free throw line there. He just took his time, no double team.
65-56, Rockets by 9. Cooper Flagg looking to get going here in the third quarter. At the left elbow, on the dribble, fires the 15-footer and draws the foul. He goes to the ground along with Tari Eason. Shot didn't go. It'll be 2 free throws for Cooper Flagg.
And Tari Eason didn't give him a place to land. It was a Gafford ball screen, so I think they heard me. You got Cooper Flagg and Daniel Gafford working together. He sets a really good screen. Eason gets clipped on it, so Eason's in recovery mode. Kind of lunged at Cooper Flagg, didn't give him a place to land.
And now we've got a timeout called by Houston here with 9:21 to go in the third quarter. I think that might be a challenge.
I think they're going to challenge it.
The ruling on the floor is being challenged.
Interesting. So they contested it. They're going to say, the Rockets want to say Cooper Flagg kind of kicked out and was an unnatural shooting motion.
So 9:21 to go in the third. Rockets 65, Mavericks 56. And the foul was on Tari Eason. A free throw line jumper by Cooper Flagg.
I think it's going to be a successful challenge, honestly.
Why?
Because Eason didn't really make contact with him. It looked like Cooper Flagg just fell over, and no real contact was made. So to me, this is going to be successful. He kind of, it's amazing. You ever seen someone play dodgeball and kind of elude the ball when it's coming at them? That's what Tari Eason did there.
They scooched their posterior backwards out of the way.
Just the midsection just moved it out of the way real quick. So Cooper Flagg couldn't find any contact.
The call on the floor is going to stand as Eason illegally contacts the shooter as he has a natural drift on the fadeaway. 2 shots.
So where I think the case would be Cooper Flagg kicked his leg out, but they'll say because he was fading, the leg got stuck out a little bit there.
That makes no sense to me. I don't know how they made that stand.
We're coming back here to Houston, 9:21 to go in the third. Rockets up 65-56 over the Dallas Mavericks, and you're listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
NBA Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's an interleague showdown at the Garden.
Dribbles to the right, takes 2 defenders, dunks under, up and under, layups good. What a move by Doncic.
Luka LeBron and the Los Angeles Lakers go head-to-head with Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks.
Brunson with a jab step, fires a 3. Oh, what a big shot!
The Lakers at the Knicks. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern with tip-off at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Running a business? You know that slow phone systems and missed messages cost you opportunities. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines communication, helps teams collaborate seamlessly, and respond to customers 24/7 with their AI agent. Join over 90,000 businesses using Quo. Try it free, then get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN, QUO.com/ESPN. They'll even port your existing numbers for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Marcus Spears back here on the program. My NFL Live crew, we make these picks, and people think we care about making these picks.
Talk about that
like we live and die by it. Sometimes I don't even look at it. I tell the producer, pick the game and the score. I don't get paid to pick games, because if I knew who was going to win every game, I'd just live in Vegas and be richer than all y'all. So,
The Rich Eisen Show from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus. Amber and Ian.
I'm a Dolphins fan in particular, and I have now seen the New England Patriots be the best team in the universe and then go through a full rebuild, and now we're back on top with an NFL MVP caliber quarterback, and here they are back in a Super Bowl, and that whole transition happened, and the Miami Dolphins aren't any closer to even winning a singular playoff game.
Amber and Ian, weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
At Toyota Center in Houston, it's the Rockets up 65-56 over the Dallas Mavericks. 9:21 to go in the third quarter. Here on this Saturday night, Mike Cousins and Kalena Azubuike along with you. Thanks for joining us wherever you may be. Cooper Flagg misses the first free throw, shooting at the right side. The rookie with a game-high 15 points on what was, Kalena, a bit of a puzzling foul in your view, charged to Tari Eason of the Rockets.
It was. I didn't really see any contact. And Sean Wright, when he presented it, he didn't really say it with his chest. So that tells me he wasn't super sure about it, super confident with it. But Cooper Flagg shooting free throws nonetheless. He made the second one, too.
Flagg gets one at the line, 65-57, 9:19 and counting here in the third as Kevin Durant initiates the offense here for the Rockets, who came into this season without Fred VanVleet, who they plan to have at point guard, but he is injured and out for the year. It's Durant, short corner right, shovels for Amen Thompson in the lane. He shot, puts it off the back rim to Eason on the near side. Three-pointer, airballed, bounces top of the key. Durant swings it left. Jabari Smith, three-pointer, dances off the rim, and it's a foul on Amen Thompson as he went up on the offensive glass. How many, was that 3 or 4 second chance opportunities there for the Rockets?
It was. I think it was 3, yeah. This team, they're not surprised when they miss shots. In fact, I feel like they look forward to it, especially Amen Thompson. He's crashing. But Kevin Durant is just making the right plays. He's just playing good basketball. 2 defenders go with him. He gets rid of it. You get a flash in there. They missed that one. He swung the ball when a defender was on him. You get a wide open 3. They missed that one. Amen Thompson gets the rebound. So this is what this team wants to do. They're just going to try to wear you down on the glass. Yeah, you did a pretty good job in the first half on the glass. We didn't crush you there. Can you do it again, though, is the question.
And then Thompson goes 2 for 2 at the line. Rockets by 10. So this Rockets team leads the NBA in offensive rebounding, 16 a game. They've got 12 right now, not even at the midway point of the third quarter, which is on pace for the most in the NBA since the 01-02 Golden State Warriors. So they're operating at a different level on their missed shots. With 7 on the timer, it's an off-balance look. P.J. Washington, but Daniel Gafford is there to clean up the miss at point-blank range.
The Mavs have 20 second chance points. They're winning the battle right now because of Gafford.
Sengun with a free throw line lob off the front of the rim. Amen Thompson caught it anyway. Shot fake, step through, and underhands it off glass for 2 against Gafford.
He is clever. I feel like he's going to be a really good player without a consistent jump shot in this league for a long time. He's so athletic.
Christie left wing 3, and he makes Sengun pay for a late closeout. 69-62, Rockets by 7. Sengun on the far side, one-on-one, backing his way in against P.J. Washington. Lofts at top of the key. Eason, shot fake, 15-footer. No, tipped up and in by Jabari Smith.
It's a second chance points battle right now. No one wants to make their first shot. It's all about the second chance.
Rockets by 9, 71-62. Their largest lead has been 10. Christie, top of the key, underhands to Gafford. Gets it back. Surges left, pulls up at the first marker, missed it. Sengun gets the loose ball, feeds ahead. Eason on the run, and he lays it in at the left side bucket. Largest lead of the night. It's 11, 73-62 Houston.
Somehow he hung himself and still dunked it at the same time. It still went in.
Almost missed the dunk and just forced it over the rim by sheer willpower. Gafford, top of the key, chest pass right to P.J. Washington, takes his dribble to the left elbow, gets into the paint against Durant, puts it up with the right and scores for 2.
That took some hang time there because Kevin Durant had his outstretched arms. He is a footer, but P.J. Washington somehow got over that. Jabari Smith Jr. contested the last time, and he got the stop because of his leg, too.
Durant with the ball, right angle. He's got 11. Overhead pass into the far corner. Eason, 3. That goes down. Tari Eason is the 4th Rocket into double figures with a dozen. 76-64 Houston.
And again, benefiting from 2 defenders jumping to Kevin Durant and his unselfishness.
Christie from the free throw line, lefty layup, no. And here come the Rockets with a 5-on-3. Durant left angle, underhand cross-court pass. Jabari Smith right side of the lane. Gives it out, Eason at the right angle, on the dribble against Christie. Picks it up, finds Durant between the rings. 1 dribble left, feed into Sengun in the paint. He goes up and gets fouled. A reach in there. Gafford was in the vicinity with 6:27 to go here in the third quarter.
Well, Kevin Durant, again, playing great basketball. He got it. Comes off the ball screen. His defender fights over the top of the screen, then tries to switch on to Sengun. So the switch is late. Kevin Durant just kind of lobs it over the top, put some air under that thing, touch it up real nice, and get Sengun going downhill to the basket. So Sengun has gotten active himself, but his teammates have also made sure to get him involved a little more now. He's up to 10 points with a chance to get to 11 here. This is the kind of offensive attack the Rockets would want, and really any team would want. Just everybody involved, everybody's touching it, they're playing well together, they're moving the ball, really testing this Mavs defense from side to side. If they want to switch it, they use that against it. If they want to switch it late, even worse.
Sengun short on the second free throw, made the first, 1 of 2, 77-64. Sengun now with 10, so that's 5 Rockets with at least 10 points. Flag has been sitting on 16 for a while. He dribbles at the top of the key. Left-hand hip-high dribble. Hesitation against Durant. Feeds up top. Christie, good look from 3. That goes for Max Christie.
Kogi was cheating off him because that drive from Cooper Flagg was pretty threatening, even though he bounced back off of Kevin Durant. He kicked it.
Amen Thompson accelerates right to the basket, left elbow to right block, and then easy 2 points.
That's how lethal that change of pace is. When you have F1 speed and you don't use it all the time, that's tough to guard.
Great matchup. Top of the key. Flag guarded by Durant. Hesitation dribble. Goes left. Fades. Shoots. And scores. The potential rookie of the year against the future Hall of Famer against the Mavericks within 10.
It feels like Kevin Durant is actually guarding well when he's been on him, but Cooper Flagg, the rookie, got the best of him that time.
Sengun pickpocketed as he spins into the lane. It's Washington 1-on-2. He gets it stripped. And now the Rockets have a 4-on-3. Far side corner, Okogie, wide open 3. It's good for Josh Okogie. And Jason Kidd and the Mavericks desperately need a timeout. The Rockets 82 and the Mavericks 69.
But give Kevin Durant credit. He made sure he got back. He stopped their advantage. and created one for his teammates. They kicked it ahead. You get wide open looks for Josh Okogie, who is shooting really well for three-point range this year.
5:19 to go in the third. The Rockets have their largest lead of the night, 13 points against the Dallas Mavericks. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Access to education changes lives. That's why National University provides flexible online and hybrid programs from associate to doctorate degrees. Since 1971, NU was built to serve non-traditional working and military learners nationwide. NU understands the demands of work, family, and service. Each year, more than 130,000 learners trust National University to move forward. Visit nu.edu to learn more.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
If he doesn't get to the Super Bowl, it's no longer about the Bills organization letting Josh Allen down. It's about Josh Allen letting everybody else down because of all of the power and control that they have ceded to him. Joe Brady himself called him the leader of the organization. Damn it, it's on Josh Allen now. Nobody else.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. The Hoop Collective Podcast.
Orlando is going to be one of a lot of teams. You know, the trade deadline, I think, might be quiet, but the summer, I think, has got a chance to be pretty spicy.
The Hoop Collective Podcast. Listen on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
NBA fans don't just watch the game, they live it. So stream like you're courtside with NBA League Pass, your ticket to all the action. Watch your favorite team shine and catch the league's brightest stars and rising stars at the same time with multi-view on your favorite devices. From the plays you can't believe to the most live games and the drama that comes with it. If it happens on the court, it's happening on NBA League Pass.
Only select out-of-market games available. Blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit NBA.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
Rich Eisen here. LinkedIn Jobs is stepping things up with their new AI assistant so you can feel confident you're finding top talent. Get this. Employees hired through LinkedIn are 30% more likely to stick around for at least a year compared to those hired through the leading competitor. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
When the deals drop at Kohl's, you feel it. You see up to 50% off end-of-season must-haves, plus up to 85% off clearance favorites. And suddenly, your whole world narrows to one thought. Must shop now. Your to-do list gone. Your dinner plans forgotten. It's just you and your cart gliding through the store. Yeah, Kohl's deals will do that to a person. Save in-store and online now. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Wendy here. If you're looking to add a star player to your financial roster, you should take a look at SoFi's personal loans. SoFi's got some amazing moves that would be a valued addition to any team, like low fixed rates when you consolidate your debt, no fees required, and as soon as same-day funding. View your rate at SoFi.com/roster to get started. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A. member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply at SoFi.com/roster. NMLS 696891.
Here at Toyota Center in Houston, the Rockets have started to pull away just a bit from the Dallas Mavericks, 82-69, 5:19 to go third quarter. Mike Cousins, Kalena Azubuike with you. And a wide-open three-pointer from Josh Okogie took us to a timeout. Before we break that down, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed. So it'll be Mavericks ball coming out of the break. Klay Thompson coming into the game. He's only got 3 points thus far, as this 13-point advantage right now for Houston is their largest of the night.
This is a dangerous time for the Mavericks. A 13-point lead you mentioned. The Rockets kind of getting out and running, getting stops. It's 11-6 fast break points. That's one of the important categories for the Mavs. If they're losing that says a lot. And they're losing the bench point battle. Losing Brandon Williams was huge for them because he was basically their best player in the first half.
Left angle, a long two. Caleb Martin, a clanger off the backboard. Moussa Cisse then knocks Josh Okogie to the ground as the Houston guard gets the rebound. Center Alperen Şengün at the top of the key. He pulls up, 15-footer over Cisse. Back rim, high rebound. Cisse gets the board and feeds ahead to Martin. 1-on-2, lob. Cisse with the jam from Caleb Martin. Good fast break there from Dallas.
They heard me talking about the fast break points. They got to get their fast break points up. They finally got a stop, and they got one, too.
Front court left. Houston in home white. H-Town written across the front. Dallas in blue.
It's on Cisse there. Alperen Şengün was ducking in on Cisse. They had a lot of space in the middle to work with there. So Alperen Şengün saying, I'm going to use my strength advantage on Cisse and get great position here. The impressive thing with the Rockets is they've done a lot of this in this third quarter without Kevin Durant scoring. He's just been kind of a playmaker, great floor game.
Rather quiet night for Durant as the Rockets get it back in. Şengün has it left angle. 6 on the timer, looking for KD. Finds him, left angle, pull-up jumper. That's short. Rebound ping-pongs around, up top for KD. At the left angle. Crossover dribble into the lane. It's taken away. Thompson with a feed ahead. A 4-on-2. Flag. He rises to the rim and gets fouled. They were looking for Cooper Flagg as the trailer. He cut right down the middle of the lane. Could not finish, but gets 2 free throws.
So it looked like Kevin Durant hurt us again. And he's saying, you know what, I like my floor game, but I'm tired of this passing stuff. I'm going to go do it myself. Did a little too much. Turned it over. Then you get Cooper Flagg run the other way. Cooper Flagg, he's actually been calling everybody on the team Unk, even like the younger guys, just to annoy everybody. And P.J. Washington was like, you got to chill out with this. I'm not there yet. Don't call me Unk anymore. So he forbade him to call him Unk. So you know when that happens in a locker room and someone forbids you to do something, you do it more just to annoy them more. But Cooper Flagg, his talent says he's going to be in the league a long, long time. He missed that first free throw. A long time, and some young whippersnapper is going to come in the league pretty soon and be calling him up before he knows it.
Flagg goes 1 of 2. The Mavs, 8 of 15 today at the free throw line. Not ideal, but they're also second worst free throw shooting team in the league. But that average is 74% on the year, so still well below their season mark. Durant, left elbow, stops, pivots, shoots, and misses over top of Martin. And the rebound comes down to Cisse for Dallas. They're back within 10 after being down 13 just a couple minutes ago. 3:45 to go here in the third. Mavericks' only lead has been by 2 points today. Flagg spins from the top of the key into the lane, lobs it to Cisse, left block. He catches, goes up 1-on-3, and gets fouled. A reach in on Reed Sheppard, his second. And that is the 4th team foul against the Rockets here in the third quarter.
That's an interesting foul because Sheppard could have elected to not do that and just let him try to finish over Şengün. It would have been a tough finish, but he gets Cisse to the free throw line. On one end, again, Kevin Durant is more aggressive to score. That's evident. He just hasn't found the rhythm yet with his shooting in this half. And on this side, they are trying to involve Şengün in the action. As Cisse misses the first one, involving Şengün in the action, make it tough for him to kind of help and get back to the roller. And that's what they did there, just kind of lob it up for Cisse, let him power up.
Cisse, a 48% free throw shooter, looked like it on the first one and doesn't on the second. He missed the first, made the second, 82-73. Rockets by 9 as the Mavericks continue to chisel away at that advantage. Josh Okogie, guarded by Klay Thompson on the near left wing. One bounce left for Durant. Lobs it over his shoulder inside. Şengün, kick out right wing. It was a low pass. Picked up by Dorian Finney-Smith. Now Okogie in the far corner. Shot fake, gets by Flagg, and dunks it with 2 hands.
He is such a good shooter now that Cooper Flagg ran all the way out there to him. Ran him off the three-point line. No help at the rim.
Flagg with 19. Into the lane for Martin. He's guarded by Şengün, doesn't want to try that. Backs it out behind the arc and gives to Flagg at the right wing. One dribble, pull-up three-pointer, splashes it home. Cooper Flagg's got 22 on his first made 3 of the night.
And Martin set the screen because Şengün was guarding him. Şengün was kind of backing up in drop coverage. No help there. found some space.
84-76, Flag went for the steal. 5-on-4, Finney-Smith, near corner 3, too long. Caleb Martin has the rebound looking ahead. Flag is open on the other side, but he didn't see him. At the high right angle, Thompson with a lob inside. Martin, overhead bounce pass. Flag from the far corner. One dribble, lefty, off the glass, and good for two. A personal 5-0 scoring run for Cooper Flag gets the Mavericks within 6.
Well, he's 29% from three-point range, but they closed out to him all the same, like he's shooting 50% from there. That gave him the advantage. He can attack.
Durant right side long two, off on that. Flag has the rebound, his 8th to go along with 24 points. Caleb Martin, his shot rejected off the glass.
Wow.
Dallas wanted goaltending, they don't get it. Şengün from right to left, kick to the corner, Okogie triple. He splashes it through. Josh Okogie has 13, and the Rockets have 6 players at double figures. They're up 87-78, 1:45 in the third.
Well, the Mavs are still complaining about that lack of the call on the goaltend, and they were late to get back.
Flag, right wing, chest pass across the arc to the far side for Nembhard. Flag looking to shake free from Shepherd and does. Takes the ball left angle, dribbles into the lane, whips it out. Martin for 3 from the right side, and it rattles through. And he barks some words back at the bench for the Rockets on the right side.
He is talking crazy to somebody.
87-71, a 6-point Rockets lead. 75 seconds on the third quarter timer. Şengün, the center, dribbles on the Toyota Center logo right angle, takes his dribble into the lane, whips it out. Durant, far corner 3, short for KD. Şengün saves it, but to Dallas, and falling out of bounds, Caleb Martin.
KD is hurt, it looks like.
Fell out, and we've got a foul called, it looks like, against Dallas. Durant was slow to get up. He goes over to talk to Sean Wright, the crew chief, with his palms to the sky.
Yeah, if you're a Rockets fan, you're just happy to see him get up. Looked like he just kind of slipped on the ground. Didn't look great. But he is up and walking. Collisions. And Caleb Martin is okay, too. That is good to see. Because he tripped over Kevin Durant. He never saw him. He was kind of backpedaling, and Kevin Durant was on the ground. He tripped over him.
And Durant got called for the foul.
That's rough.
And it puts Dallas in the bonus. That's the 5th foul of the quarter.
Insult to injury.
Yeah.
There.
And it's Caleb Martin at the free throw line at the right side.
Well, and Kevin Durant's going to come out of the game now. The Mavs just want to win this quarter. It's been a hard-fought battle. Back and forth, but they'll take it. Free throws.
Martin is 64%. The Mavs today, 9 of 17. His first, off the back rim and not particularly close.
Martin's been playing well for them lately, just contributing. Kind of a Swiss Army knife type of guy. I keep seeing those highlights of Cooper Flag and him out on the break, and he tries to take off from like the elbow. And I'm sure his teammates aren't going to let him live that one down. They'll have fun with him on that, but he has been playing well.
A deep breath and a long pause. Here's the second free throw. That goes. 1 of 2 in the line for Caleb Martin. 87-82. The Rockets lead the Mavericks by 5. 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Amen Thompson over the midcourt stripe into the front court left. Dribbles right behind his back in the lane, and a scoop shot doesn't go. He got fouled as he surged to the basket.
Goodness gracious. That was a devastatingly quick move.
I mean, Houdini would blush.
Yeah. Hard to the right, counter, back behind the back before you can blink. Klay Thompson has no answer for that. He's still looking for him.
Foul was adjudicated on Thompson. Reed Shepherd, left elbow, bounces it up top for Thompson, gets it back. Shepherd straight on 3. Too long. Rebound Dallas. 45 seconds to go here in the third. They can get within 2 points on this possession. Najee Marshall, high right angle. Kick it left. Nembhard, the rookie. Dribbles with the right hand at the top of the key. 10 on the timer. Gets by Shepherd in the lane. Runner with the right. Back rim, no. Capella, the Houston rebound. Shot clock and game clock are separated by 5 seconds as the Rockets walk it up the floor. Thompson with a slow dribble on the logo at midcourt. Nembhard sags back just atop the three-point line in the front court left. Rockets lead it by 5. Full head of steam. Thompson in the lane. Euro steps. Comes down. Misses the layup. And the rebound for Dallas. 6 seconds from left to right. Najee Marshall, left angle to the left block. Pulls up, shoots off glass, and it's off the rim. No good. And the third quarter comes to a close with the Rockets leading the Mavs by 5.
Well, Mavs fought hard to barely win that quarter. And again, they're still winning this second chance battle. That's still impressive, 20-15. But they got their hands full here because the Rockets had a pretty good quarter without Kevin Durant doing too much in that quarter, so they still have a weapon that can be detonated in the fourth.
Cooper Flagg got going for the Mavs, 11 points in that third quarter as he leads the way for them with 24. At the end of the third quarter, it's the Rockets 87, the Mavericks 82. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Running a business? You know that slow phone systems and missed messages cost you opportunities. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines communication, helps teams collaborate seamlessly, and respond to customers 24/7 with their AI agent. Join over 90,000 businesses using Quo. Try it free, then get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN, QUO.com/ESPN. They'll even port your existing numbers for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
Jim Basketball from our Granger Studios. They're playing with under 4 minutes to go in Miami with the Bulls up on the Heat, 106-105. Isaac Okoro has 20. Jaime Jaquez is 21 off the bench for the home team. Meantime, they've gone final in Memphis. 33 for Anthony Edwards, 27 for Julius Randle. Wolves 131-114 over the Grizzlies. They are currently tied with the Rockets in the Western Conference, but start of the fourth quarter, Houston up top 87-82, despite just 11 thus far from Kevin Durant. We go back to the Toyota Center with Kalena Azubuike and Mike Cousins.
Thank you very much, Jim. 11 is the fewest points that Kevin Durant has scored in a game this year. But we still got 12 minutes to go, and he'll be on the floor for most of those here in closing time for the Rockets. Cooper Flagg was the leading scorer for Dallas in the third quarter with 11. Josh Okogie was the leading scorer for Houston in the third with 8 points, and he's taken 5 threes in back-to-back games for the first time this year. But the looks he's gotten from three, a lot of them have been wide open.
Really good because of the ball movement. I'm going to bet that Kevin Durant ends up with more than 11 points. The Rockets only have 4 turnovers, but they had 3 in that quarter. And they didn't really capitalize a ton, but they just didn't get those shots up.
Rockets open the fourth with possession in the front court left. Home white jerseys. Clint Capella at the tip circle. Lobs it with the right. His shot doesn't go. It's tipped out of bounds baseline left and off of Capella. So Mavericks ball coming up the floor down by 5.
And when the Rockets have done it together and played together and moved the ball and gone pick and roll and tried to hit the roller and move the ball around, that's when they get open looks. They stay away from the turnovers. And for a little bit there, they kind of started playing hero ball and trying to do it themselves. That's when they started turning the ball over.
Pass to Klay Thompson on the baseline, tipped. He corrals in the short corner, nearly traveled, and instead turns it over. Reed Shepherd on the break from right to left. Okogie is 6'3", is long and out of bounds off of his teammate Amen Thompson. Mavericks ball again.
Klay was frustrated with himself on that one. That was a flare screen, and he caught the ball and had decided he was going to go up and shoot it. Changed his mind late, but got caught up in the air. That's the Cardinal sin.
Thompson just 105. Lob to the basket for Flagg is denied. It's Okogie on a breakout from right to left. Great defense. Ryan Nembhard knocked it away. That looked like a sure thing breakaway dunk for Josh Okogie, and the rookie Nembhard did a good job to strip it.
Okogie was a little too nonchalant there, and he swung the ball back to his left. That gave Nembhard, who was bearing down on him, that closing speed. They're actually going to challenge this one.
Yeah, we're going to get a challenge. The green light is on with 11:09 to go here in the fourth quarter. So Sean Wright coming over to the mic.
The ruling of an out of bounds on the floor is being challenged.
11:09 fourth quarter. Rockets in the lead, 87-82 over the Mavericks. You're listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
The SB Pod with Scott Van Pelt.
I live in the real world, so I don't care what social media says. Pittsburgh hires McCarthy. That guy's won football games. Yeah. He wins football games. And I love what Pittsburgh said. We don't care about social media. We don't care about winning the first press conference. We're trying to win football games. They've hired 4 coaches in their history. How about his life and resume? Hey, I coached 3 teams. Who'd you coach? The Packers, the Steelers, and the Cowboys.
The SB Pod with Scott Van Pelt. Wherever you get your podcast. Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
There are consequences to your actions. Clearly, some of those writers want the cheating that Bill Belichick participated in that altered other players and organizations' legacies to be a part of the story. Because that's what this is, that he is not a first ballot Hall of Famer because of actions that had consequences towards other people in a negative way.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
May I gather your attention, please? The NFL Pro Bowl games are back. The league's biggest stars of the year show off on a brand new stage in San Francisco, celebrating the season with an AFC-NFC showdown, flag football style. One game, all the sellies. The 2026 Pro Bowl games, powered by Verizon. Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Also streaming on the ESPN app.
This is Freddie and Harry.
I had just cut the mohawk.
Listen to this.
Remember, I just cut the mohawk off, and I had to even Steven, and it was like a little mini blowout. And Bart, the first thing he says to me when he had seen me, look at Doogie with that damn dry erase on his head. No. And I was so salty. I gave Bart like the nastiest look. I was like, bro, like, I'm in between. I'm transitioning right now.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
ACC Network, your home for ACC women's basketball.
The stars are going to emerge, so that's what you're going to see.
So many teams got talent back, so many new faces. And I don't think the product's been any better in the ACC than what it is right now.
For three, here I come.
It's going to be massive, and it's just great for basketball fans. So many good matchups.
It doesn't get much better than this, does it? It does not. ACC women's basketball, all season long on ACC Network.
You're listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
At Toyota Center in Houston, it's the Rockets with an 87-82 lead over the Dallas Mavericks. The largest lead tonight for Houston, as many as 13. They've got 6 players scoring at least 10. Jabari Smith leading the way with 15. Cooper Flagg off of 49 points on Thursday, doing the best he can for the Mavericks with 24. Mike Cousins, Kalena Azubuike, glad to have you along here. We went to timeout with a challenge by Jason Kidd and the Mavericks. They thought a ball knocked away by Ryan Nembhard was out of bounds off of Josh Okogie. They lost that challenge, so it stays Houston ball.
The Rockets have gotten fast break points, 14-9. They're looking to get another one there. They're letting their defense lead to some offense. And this is an important stretch right now. Beginning of the fourth for the Rockets. No Kevin Durant. The Cooper Flagg is in here. The Mavs want to win these minutes.
And the Rockets inbound in the front court left. Smith, Thompson, Okogie, Shepard, and Capella on the floor. And it's Amen Thompson with a 15-footer, too strong from the right elbow. Gafford snatches it out of the air. Najee Marshall high steps his way into the front court right. Reed Shepard dislodges it on the dribble. It's tracked down by Nembhard, who saves it in front of the TV announcer's table on the far sideline. 10 on the timer. Nembhard on the move. At the right block, near side. Picks up his dribble, finds Klay Thompson. Three-pointer off balance. Shot is no good. Thompson just 1 of 6 from the floor tonight. 87-82. Reed Shepard, high left angle. He's double-teamed, looks to pass. Finds Capella, top of the key, gets it back on the dribble handoff. 15-footer right elbow, pure for Reed Shepard, who's got 6.
They elect to have him handle on the ball screen. Gafford on the last one with Amen Thompson. He was in drop coverage. Amen Thompson couldn't make him pay. Reed Shepard can. The same coverage. Knocks it down.
Left angle. Nembhard, 3 all the way around and out. Gafford had the offensive rebound. It got snatched away by Amen Thompson. Leads a 4-on-3 break. Shepard in the far corner. Shot fakes, pulls up in the short corner. His jumper's short. And the outlet to Flagg up the far side. He goes 1-on-3 behind the back. That ball's taken away by Okogie. And now the Rockets control in the front court left. Unsettled situation. Okogie from the corner. Shovels to Capella under the basket. Missed the point-blank layup. And now here come the Mavs.
He tried to reverse it. First of all, Okogie could have shot the 3. He could have laid it up. Too much unselfishness and just a bad decision on how to finish for Capella.
So a couple unproductive possessions on both sides. 9:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Najee Marshall fouled on his drive to the basket on the far side. He got to the first marker and then took a bump.
I think he likes that matchup with Reed Shepard. Reed Shepard is much smaller than him. He just brought the ball over the top, kind of went through Reed Shepard. Reed bounced off of him. But I got to go back to Okogie pickpocketing Cooper Flagg. Basically, Cooper Flagg went behind the back, and Okogie knew he was going to go behind the back before Cooper Flagg did, apparently. He just anticipated and shot through there. Caught Cooper Flagg off guard, but again, they couldn't capitalize on the other end. You get Najee Marshall down here shooting free throws. Will this game be a clutch game? plus or minus 5 with 5 minutes left to go in the game. It could be, but the Mavs have been there so many times. They want to see if they can come away with a win this time, though. It's going to be a tough task for them.
Well, it could be if they were doing better at the free throw line. Najee Marshall
True.
just went 1 of 2, and the Mavs have missed 10 of their 21 free throws. Left side, Reed Shepherd, deep triple doesn't fall. Klay Thompson with a Mavs rebound. And it's Marshall who brings it over midcourt. He's guarded by Thompson, gets a Gafford screen into the paint, zips it out. Thompson on the run. Ugly shot, too strong off the glass. Second time in this second half, Klay Thompson has left his feet and didn't know where he was going with the ball. Now the Rockets in the front court left. Pull up, Jabari Smith, 14-footer goes just inside the free throw line, and once again, an 8-point lead for Houston.
Gafford was late getting back there. These are the minutes, though. Without Cooper Flagg, the Mavs have struggled. They're struggling right now.
And Najee Marshall gets denied at the rim by Jabari Thompson. Right to left, 4-on-4, and then Thompson lays it in at the bucket, and the foul.
Amen Thompson was hang gliding there. He did show that hang time. And Kevin Durant, as soon as he comes back in the game, he's out on the fast break. Let him decide. Let him initiate. He's the playmaker. He's leading the break, and he's got a high flyer on his left. Go ahead and give it to him. Let him finish. And one. So now you got Kevin Durant in the game, no Cooper Flagg. So the Rockets probably like their chances. They're trying to rebuild this lead. They got the 10-point lead right now with a chance to make it 11.
Foul was on Max Christie. First on the Mavericks here in the fourth quarter. 8:42 to go, and the Rockets lead is 11 as Thompson gets all three, making the free throw. 94-83. Rockets over the Mavericks, looking to even the regular season series 2 games apiece and send Dallas to its 4th consecutive loss. Mavericks turn it over as Christie got pickpocketed, and KD with a long pass up the floor right to left. At the far right angle, it's Jabari Smith, who shovels it back to Durant near midcourt. Takes a screen near side, whips it back. Smith, shot fake, drives into the lane, and is rejected by Cisse, who then, like a breakdancer, pops back up from his back. Wow! Oh, Mavericks in the front court right. Martin thought about a near corner 3. I'm still thinking about Moussa Cisse, who's a big dude, 6'11", 220, just whipping his legs into the air.
That was the best move of the night.
Getting to a standing position. 4 on the timer. Christie free throw jumper rattles it through, and it's 94-85. Rockets by 9.
That was a little double cross. Just work on your one-on-one moves. Max Christie has, apparently.
Ahmed Thompson, near side block, guarded there by Marshall. Throws a one-hand pass to Tari Eason, top of the key. Takes 2 dribbles near side, hands off Thompson at the left elbow. Across the lane, off-balance jumper, well short. Rebound Marshall and the Mavericks. 7:30 to go, fourth quarter. Rockets 94, Mavericks 85. Marshall just off the left side of the top of the key. Defense sinks off of him. He pounds the dribble with the right. Feeds Thompson straight away. Jump stop, gives it back to Marshall. 6 to shoot for the Mavericks. Marshall hesitates at the right elbow, drives, lofts it. Too strong, rebound Houston. Not a good offensive possession there for Dallas. 94-85. Baseline near side, Jabari Smith. Jumper doesn't go. Fouled by Moussa Cisse.
You get a little mid-range action. Dallas isn't really ready to defend that offensive set. You didn't really get a ton of ball movement. You're just trying to go one-on-one there. It doesn't work out for the Mavs. Again, without Cooper Flagg, sometimes that happens. It gets a little stagnant offensively. Cooper Flagg's at the scorer's table right now, ready to check in. Najee Marshall is going to limp out of there. But the Rockets are just trying to stiff-arm the Mavs right now, keep them at bay. Jabari Smith Jr., he's got that like veteran vibes to his game. A lot of know-how, a lot of smarts, a lot of maturity to his game. He's getting better and better. And again, I think that three-point percentage is going to go back up over 40 at some point pretty soon here. But he's not just settling for that. He's going mid-range. He's getting to the rim. You've seen guys close out all the way to him. He makes the second free throw, close out all the way to him. He's attacking those long closeouts, getting to the basket as well.
Smith just went 2 of 2 at the line, the 3rd overall pick 4 years ago behind Paolo Banchero and Chet Holmgren. He puts the Rockets up 11. Cooper Flagg back in. He fires. It's a wedgie. Stuck between the rim and the backboard as he fired a 3-point try.
He got balls popping out of rims like what did you say, Pop-Tarts. We got break dancers jumping up off the ground. We got wedgies tonight. What else is going to happen here?
That's the second straight game where Cooper Flagg has been involved with a wedgie. It was a foul at the end of their game against Charlotte on Thursday. He was blocking his former roommate Con Knippel, and here it's his own wedgie. Jump ball at center circle, and the ball comes out of bounds to the near sideline.
They're going to call a foul on Alperen Şengün because he kind of held off Cisse with his off arm. You can't do that with a jump ball. They need it to be a clean jump ball, and the left arm of Şengün was a little overactive.
That's his third personal, the third on the Rockets here in the quarter. 96-85, Houston by 11. Klay Thompson, good look from three, and he hits on the far sideline.
If he can get hot. He just kind of shook Kevin Durant. Didn't really need a screen there.
96-88, Rockets in the lead, 6.5 to go, fourth quarter. Amen Thompson swings it right angle. Outside for Smith, into Şengün at the free throw line. Looking to back his way in on Cisse. Flagg came over to help, so a kick out to Tari Eason, and he makes Dallas pay with a three.
They love letting Şengün work from the middle. Trust his ISO, trust his decision-making, draw the help in, kick it out.
He's their center and also leading assist distributor. Klay Thompson straight on three. That's good for Klay Thompson.
And we know Klay Thompson can still go nuclear. He hasn't had the shooting game, but he's seen one go in. He's seen a couple go in now. He's seen 3 threes go in overall on the game.
6 minutes to go, 99-91, Houston with an 8-point lead. Thompson above the right elbow, gives to Durant outside the arc. One-hand pass, Şengün top of the key. He can drive or distribute. Left-handed dribble, backs his way in, shoots over the left shoulder, hook shot, missed it. Here comes Flagg, running the floor, middle of the lane, 1-on-2, righty scoop, doesn't go, tipped out of bounds by Moussa Cisse, his teammate, and it's Rockets ball with 5:31 to go.
They didn't give up a blow-by, so the defense was adequate enough to make it a tough finish. But it's interesting, the Mavs on that last ISO, Şengün attacking from the top, instead of coming to help this time and giving up the three like they did last time, everybody stayed home. Make him finish over the top. Trust Cisse, he can move his feet. Made it a tough floater.
The other night, Şengün on Monday, 15 of 17. But tonight, a different story, shooting just 25% from the floor. Rockets lead by 8. 5:20 to go as the Mavs defend left side. Şengün gets to the rim and jams with the left hand over Moussa Cisse. That's a 100% shot.
And let Kevin Durant serve it up for him instead of making Şengün do it himself. Pick and rolls with Kevin Durant. You get a lane to the basket.
Cooper Flagg looks to answer and does. Shot puts it from 5 feet with the left hand. Falls to the ground, clamoring for a foul. Not yet, young fella. 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. 101-93, Rockets by 8.
Well, Jason Kidd is just happy to see him score again. He's stuck on 24 for a while.
26, 10 rebounds, 5 assists for Flagg, following up a 49-point game on Thursday. Durant deep on the right wing in the front court left. On the dribble, 1-on-3 to Şengün, free throw line. Kick out, Okogie. Shot fakes in the corner, takes one dribble, missed the jumper, and it's tipped up and in by Amen Thompson like they planned it that way.
So this is an adjustment the Rockets have made. Instead of going ISO, get Kevin Durant and Şengün working together. It worked again.
Flagg pivots to the basket, scores again at point-blank range. 103-95, keeps it an 8-point game.
This young rookie's a maniac. He's going counter moves. Look at this. So you got Amen Thompson with the ball on the ground, just kind of letting the clock run there. Max Christie had to run down there.
Flagg is scoring, but what the Mavericks need now to get back in this game is stops. Exactly. We were thinking the same thing. Mike Cousins, Kalena Azubuike with you here in Houston. Rockets up 8, 103-95. Şengün in the lane. Across to the far side, underhands it to Tari Eason, who takes it, tries to go between the legs on Cisse. Ball is loose. Şengün throws it over his shoulder. Shot clock violation. It was put in by Amen Thompson, but after the shot clock had expired, literally he couldn't see the basket and just threw it up, hoping it would go in.
They need one more second to make that the most spectacular play of the night. I mean, that was unbelievable.
He was on his belly.
And that's saying something, because we've seen breakdancers jump up off the ground. We've seen a lot of things happen tonight.
Mavericks down 8. Here's Flagg trying to do it all. He's got 28. Shoots. Scores on the foul. Cooper Flagg, Rookie of the Year case being made tonight here in Houston. 103-97, and he can make it a 5-point game at the free throw line.
It's a one-man attack right now. He's unbelievable. I mean, he's not satisfied with what he did last game with the 49 points. He wants W's, and he's trying to will his team to that, but They're trying to get stops. They got one last time, finally. Now he's at the free throw line. He's got such amazing touch around the basket. That was a tough floater. And he's got counter moves. To have this type of know-how at this age, when defenders are flying at him, he's on the top of the scouting report right now. He might have his own page. So everybody's focused on this guy, and he's still finding ways to be effective and score. That is unreal.
Efficient shooting tonight, 12 of 21 at the free throw line. No good. The Mavericks are 11 of 22 at the stripe.
Wow.
That's a huge difference in this game where they trail by 6.
Yeah, it's a 6-point game.
Yep, 3.5 to go. Here's Durant, free throw line. He pulls up, shoots, and hits. Kevin Durant's got 13, and the Mavericks have one last timeout with 3:26 to go here in the fourth.
For the Rockets, a great time for Kevin Durant, their leading scorer to ignite. He's coming on strong now. He finally saw one go in. He was stuck on 11 for a while, but the way to get him going, let him get to that mid-range where he is extremely comfortable.
Rockets 105, Mavericks 97 down the home stretch with 3:26 to go in the fourth. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Running a business? You know that slow phone systems and missed messages cost you opportunities. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines communication, helps teams collaborate seamlessly, and respond to customers 24/7 with their AI agent. Join over 90,000 businesses using Quo. Try it free, then get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN, quo.com/ESPN. They'll even port your existing numbers for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
Access to education changes lives. That's why National University provides flexible online and hybrid programs from associate to doctorate degrees. Since 1971, NU was built to serve non-traditional working and military learners nationwide. NU understands the demands of work, family, and service. Each year, more than 130,000 learners trust National University to move forward. Visit nu.edu to learn more.
Which teams are making moves and which teams need to just flat out move? Your Saturday means I'm locked in and ready for First Take right here, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
3:26 to go in the fourth quarter at Toyota Center in Houston, and it's the Rockets, the fourth team in the West, with a 105-97 lead over the Dallas Mavericks. Mike Cousins, Kalena Azubuike along with you. You look at the course of this game, Kalena. Houston has led throughout, up 3 at the end of 1, up 8 at the half, up by 5 at the end of the third quarter, and here in the fourth, they've expanded that lead because they've outscored the Mavericks 18-15, now 3:26 to go.
Well, the fact that Kevin Durant only has 13 points means they've had a lot of contributors. A lot of guys have stepped up and played well for them. That last KD bucket was a little ball screen there, but they got movement into it. The screener's defender just isn't close enough, even though it's inside the three-point line there. So they need to run more acts like that. But the Mavs need more contributors, not just Cooper Flagg going.
And Flagg with a pass deflected. That leads to a 2-on-1 for the Rockets right to left. And Jabari Smith couldn't hang on to it off the feed from Tari Eason. The officials say out of bounds off of the Rockets.
Well, the Mavs cannot afford any turnovers. At least they sprinted back. Max Christie broke that play up. But they're just all over Cooper Flagg here. He's got to know it.
And Flagg gets fouled as he was driving to the basket. It looked like he might have been trying to drop it off for Gafford, and they'll give him a shooting foul there.
So they're trying to involve Şengün in the action, and it's him and Gafford working together, like I said at halftime. And Tari Eason just kind of ran through the ball and Cooper Flagg's arm, so he's going to get the call on that one. But they trust Cooper Flagg. Like I said earlier, he's getting a lot of attempts, a lot of reps when it comes to clutch games here, and they're still working on getting this to a clutch game. They're pretty close, but not quite there yet.
Well, he came into the game tonight with 10 games of at least 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Here he goes 2 of 2 at the line. So he's got 32 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. 11 games with 25 and 5. third most by a teenager in NBA history.
It's unbelievable.
The other two, LeBron and Luka.
Yeah, the points are going to keep going up, but also the rebounds and assists in his career.
105-99, Rockets with the ball in a 6-point lead. Durant, right elbow, fadeaway. It's short. Christie battles for the rebound, takes it down. Gives to Flagg, coming up the floor, left to right. Front court right, at the left elbow. Hesitation dribble, keeps it alive, backs it out, three-point arc. Into the corner, Marshall, lob underneath. Gafford got held. Durant was there. Tari Eason was there, and the foul is on Eason. Mavs are in the bonus here. That's in their favor, to be sure. 2:37 to go, where Gafford will go to the line.
Tari Eason was just holding on to him, so he's trying to front Gafford. He's a smaller man, so he's trying to fight, get in front of him, making it tough for Gafford to catch. But Gafford just pushed him up and made it a little easier for his teammates to throw it over the top. And Tari Eason had to hold on for dear life. So here's the chance to make it a clutch game. It is a clutch game. It's a 5-point lead, less than 5 minutes left. That's a clutch game. So that's 33 clutch games now for the Mavericks. Can they turn it into a win, though, is the question.
And those have been elusive. Most clutch games in the NBA, but also 19 losses in those situations, also most in the league.
But the Rockets have 24 clutch games. They're 10-14 in those games, so they have a losing record as well.
And they've struggled against the top teams in the West so far this year, just 2-5. Up by 4. Durant with a good look from 3, straight on, well wide to the right. Flagg takes down the miss. Mavericks can make it a one-possession game here. Flagg's got 32. Takes a Gafford screen, left of the lane. Crosses over, ball is loose off his shoes. Gafford collects and dunks. It's 105-103. Rockets by 2 with 2:10 to go in the fourth.
I don't think Flagg planned to pass it off of his shoe, but 2 defenders committed to him, and it just rolled to Gafford, who picked it up and dunked it.
Give him a soccer assist because he kicked it to his teammate. 2 minutes to go. Rockets by 2. Durant to Şengün. Lob to the basket, and Thompson jams it.
Yeah, Max Christie had to help because they switched it late. So you got Alperen Şengün rolling to the basket. If he doesn't come over, he gets a layup. But he came off of a high flyer in Thompson.
4-point Rockets lead. It's a screen for Flagg by Gafford at the top of the key. He gets by Eason at the right elbow. Flagg backs out beyond the three-point arc. 6 on the timer. He's going to go to the rim. Puts it up with the left and in. Cooper Flagg makes it 107-105. Mavs down 2.
He took his time there and just threw that mean hezzy at him that froze him sub-zero just enough to get inside for him to lay it up.
Kevin Durant, a couple steps over midcourt into the front court left. As a Şengün screen left. Najee Marshall stays with KD. Durant gives it up to Şengün, still outside the arc. 5 on the timer. Drives on Gafford. Spins in the lane. It's blocked. Shot clock reset. Şengün with the offensive rebound. And the ball trickles away to Flagg. 1:05 to go. Mavs down 2. And Klay Thompson has his pass kicked out of bounds. He was at the free throw line extended looking for Christie in the near side corner. It stays Mavericks ball.
So listen, the Rockets have a lot of tall players out there. That means they have a lot of big shoes out there. So Jabari Smith Jr. is one of those guys. His shoe caught the ball.
You know, size 15 for you, Kalina. Cooper Flagg, right side. Jumper. It is off the iron. Offensive rebound. Marshall floats it up top for Christie, left angle. Now to Marshall, top of the key. Drives left elbow. Pull up for the tie. He got it. We're even at 107 with 47 seconds to go in Houston.
That was a lethal pull-up. His defender was just backing up on his heels while he's in the air.
40 seconds to go. Amen Thompson on the dribble. He's got 21 tonight.
2 for 1.
Şengün to the free throw line. Turns to face against Christie. Big size advantage. Bullies his way up. Floats it up on the right and scores. 28.6 to go. Timeout Mavericks. It's the Rockets 109 and the Mavericks 107.
And because of that size advantage, you'd expect the Mavs to kind of blitz that one, to have more of a sense of urgency to get over there and help. Gafford was behind him, showing double team, but Şengün didn't really see him and wasn't really bothered by that because he could just kind of go over the top and go through Max Christie before Gafford could have an impact on the play.
Alperen Şengün is like a good massage therapist. He can give you different types of pressure. He can put his shoulder into you and make you get out of the way. He can loft it up with a soft touch. He did that there at the rim against Christie.
I'm with you.
Şengün's got 14. The leading scorer for the Rockets is Amen Thompson with 21. And the Mavericks on as many nights has been the case this year, led by Cooper Flagg with 34. So 28.6 seconds to go. The Rockets by 2. The Mavericks have the ball. Everybody in the building will be thinking Cooper Flagg. Do you think that's where they go?
Yeah, they'll go to Cooper Flagg, let him decide. You could use him as a decoy and have him set a screen if you want to, but I think they'd rather have the ball in his hands. They'll probably double team him. The Rockets will probably double team him. If that happens, he's got to be able to take a beat, ball fake high, go low, vice versa. Don't turn it over. Then he can relocate, maybe get it back on the run, get something going to the rim that way. Obviously, they don't have to shoot the 3 ball. A 2 ties it, so they'll probably do that. Probably go quick hitter here. See if they can get something fast. The Rockets are going to try to make everything tough here.
And the Mavericks have good three-point shooting options on the floor. Christie inbounding in the front court right. Marshall top of the key. Thompson on the far side. Flagg comes up to get it. Between the rings, guarded by Thompson. Drives with the left. In the lane. Puts it up. Shot too strong. No good. And the Rockets have the rebound. The Mavericks defend. Shot clock is off. It's Durant over the midcourt stripe. He's hounded by Flagg. Oh, he finds a wide open Tari Eason at the left side for a dunk. And it's a 4-point game with 14.4 to go. And the Mavericks call timeout.
So Kevin Durant had 3 Mavs around him, and that's the taking a beat I'm talking about. He took his time, didn't turn it over, trusted his pivot game, then saw his teammate Tari Eason under the basket, because once you break out of that pressure, a lot of times you get openings like that, and he can just do pull-ups on the rim. So on the other side, Cooper Flagg did try to go really fast, try to get by his man before they could send a double team there, wasn't able to convert, and the Rockets are able to make him pay. So now you probably really have to go quick hitter here, score as soon as possible, and then go for the foul. You'd love to get a 3 if you're the Mavs, so then you can foul, and no matter what happens, there'll still be a 1-possession game here, even if the Rockets get free throws.
14.4 seconds to go in Houston. Rockets 111, Mavericks 107. Mavericks are in the bonus, but they are out of timeouts. Yeah. Rockets still have 2. Now, you mentioned it, taking that pause. That's the difference between experience and a veteran. Understanding. Flagg took that drive to the rim, went 1-on-3. There's an understanding of I can trust my teammates versus thinking I've got to do it myself.
Yeah.
Marshall inbounding above free throw line, extended far side. Mavericks down 4. Pass into Flagg, knocked out of bounds by Okogie.
Yeah.
13.7 to play.
No pass is going to be easy with Okogie in the vicinity. You got to juke him to see if you can break open. Sometimes in these situations, I don't even like a screen happening. Just designate one man, juke your man out, and get the ball like they just did with Gafford.
And he gives to Flagg, top of the key. Flagg pulls up, 3-pointer on the way. Off the rim, no good. Rebound to the Rockets. 6 seconds to go. The Mavericks back off. And that does it here at Toyota Center. The Rockets hang on to defeat the Dallas Mavericks. 111-107 your final.
Well, Amen Thompson was the leading scorer with 21 points, but they did it together. Their starters were amazing. The balanced scoring. They got 27 points off the bench. They handled an athletic Dallas team that loves to play fast. They turned it back on them. They got back in transition, got out and got fast break points. Even though they didn't win the second chance point battle, it didn't matter. They took care of the ball. Only 6 turnovers for the Rockets. They're 28th in turnover percentage. I said it before the game started. If they can take care of the ball, usually good things happen for the Rockets. And they got the W. Hard fought.
And end up evening the season series with the Mavericks as well. The 2 games earlier this season where the Mavericks had won were with Anthony Davis as their leading scorer in those games. AD is out right now with a finger injury. So credit here in this game to the Mavericks, who again have now another clutch time defeat. The 11th of the year for the Rockets with a victory in clutch time. 111-107 the final score here at Toyota Center.
Well, the good thing for the Mavs is they are getting valuable experience when it comes to these clutch games, even though they're not coming away with as many wins as they would like. And that sticks with you. You can learn from your mistakes. You figure out how to make better decisions down the stretch, how to get better looks. And the Rockets have had some experiences when it comes to clutch games, too. They come out on top, and they just took their time, the poise under pressure. It was all on display here. they used that to their advantage and stiff-armed a team that was surging. Like, it takes a little mental toughness to deal with a team that's kind of coming back on you. They're walking you down. To have poise under that pressure and still come away with the win, it shows me something, some mental fortitude there.
Alperen Şengün, the center for the Houston Rockets, joins us now here on ESPN Radio, along with Mike Cousins, Kelena Azubuike. Alperen, this seemed like very much a team effort tonight, where you had 6 guys score at least 13 points. You held off some really good late runs there from the Mavericks. What was key to keeping Dallas at bay in this game?
You know, it's late off January. Everybody's stuff going on. You know, everybody's tired, a little back-to-backs. So we need everybody in the court. And today everybody was ready. Everybody did something. Everybody did something off a little bit and helped to win.
Did you have to make a mental adjustment today? Because you kind of got off to a slow start, but then you got more active when it comes to ISOs. You got involved with Kevin Durant. What was that mental adjustment for you, if any, in this game?
You know, it was one of those off nights. Shot wasn't falling, and I was just trying to affect the game some ways, and I was trying to grab the rebounds, you know, find my teammates, and shot is not falling, so that's what I did today.
Yeah, that was a really interesting game, because usually you guys dominate the offensive glass, but you didn't have to win that battle, and you still came away with a win, kind of controlling a super fast-paced, athletic Dallas Mavericks team. What were the talks coming in like when it comes to dealing with all the pace and the fast breaks and all of that they want to do with their athleticism?
Yeah, you know, I think since AD got hurt, they like number 2 in transition, so that was the key for us. I think we are a really good half-court defensive team, and we just need to get to, you know, because we crush the board a lot. That's why we got some transition points, but, you know, we were trying to eliminate that the last point we can get.
Are you guys wanting to show, even though Kevin Durant didn't have an amazing scoring game, the balanced scoring kind of won out for you guys? Is that something you guys pride yourself on? Even if your best player isn't having the best game, you're not having your best game, you guys can still win hard-fought battles, a clutch win tonight.
Yeah, man, that's why we are a great team. You know, we have a lot of talent in our team. A lot of people can score the ball, and, you know, we're going to have some off nights, and that night everybody needs to ready, you know, knock the shots, transition, more effort, crash the board, everything.
Alfie, thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Alperen Şengün, the center for the Houston Rockets. He said slow start, focus on a lot of other things. Still one of 6 players with at least 10 points. And you mentioned Kevin Durant's 13 points today. It's only the 3rd time this year that he's scored fewer than 15 points.
Wow.
And still it ends up as a Rockets victory.
Well, sometimes you got to win ugly. It's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be like highfalutin 30, 40-point games, superstar performances. Sometimes you got to grind it out. And this Rockets team is showing, yeah, they are a good team. And good teams win games in a lot of different ways. They weren't able to dominate the glass like they normally do. A lot of things happen differently for them in this game, but it's still a win for them. So they'll take it, and they kind of move on here after a hard-fought victory against an athletic team and a Cooper Flagg, a rookie superstar that's trying to attack everybody and coming at their heads. They withstood all that, kind of stiff-armed them, came away with the victory.
Cooper Flagg, after 49 the other night, has the highest scoring 2-game stretch by a rookie in Mavericks history. Woo! And they just saw the retirement of a Mavericks legend the other night, Mark Aguirre, with his jersey going to the rafters at the American Airlines Center. Here's the upcoming stretch for both of these teams. Dallas, Boston, and then 2 games against San Antonio. And it'll be Monday at Indiana for Houston. They'll expect to win that game. And then home against Boston, home against Charlotte, and the Hornets with the longest winning streak in the NBA right now. Mavs have 5 games left before the All-Star break. Houston with 6 before the All-Star break, and the trade deadline coming up on Thursday. It is a fun time in the NBA.
Bro, it's a testy time. That trade deadline just looming. You're in the locker room. People don't know whether to just shut up about it or joke about it in the locker room to kind of relieve some of that tension. You're just trying to hold your breath and make it through if you're a player and you want to stay on your team, trying to survive through the trade deadline. Then you can breathe after that. But you have all that in your mind, and you got to go out and focus and play a game and do your job and try to come away with a win or wins. It's not an easy task, but so is the life of an NBA player.
That's right. Rockets get the win. They're 30-17. The Mavericks lose 4 straight, their longest losing streak of the year. They are 19-30. Houston 111-107 over Dallas. For Kalena Azubuki, our producer Mike Martino, and our engineer Ifan Zuniga, I'm Mike Cousins saying so long from Toyota Center in Houston. Now let's send it to Jim Basquill in the studio with the post-game show.
All right, Mike, thanks so much. You touched on Cooper Flagg hard, not to be awfully impressed. 83 points last 2 games. First teenager in NBA history back-to-back double-doubles. The NBA on ESPN Radio has been presented by Indeed. Higher quality talent on Indeed. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Coming up next on the NBA post-game show, our game flow and a Texas two-step that went down to the wire. Highlights on the other side. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
When it's time to scale your business, it's time for Shopify. Get everything you need to grow the way you want. Like, all the way. Stack more sales with the best converting checkout on the planet. Track your cha-chings from every channel, right in one spot. And turn real-time reporting into big-time opportunities. Take your business to a whole new level. Switch to Shopify. Start your free trial today.
NBA Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's an interleague showdown at the Garden.
Dribbles to the right, takes 2 defenders, dunks under, up and under, layups good. What a move by Doncic.
Luka LeBron and the Los Angeles Lakers go head-to-head with Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks.
Brunson with a jab step, fires a 3. Oh, what a big shot!
The Lakers at the Knicks. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern with tip-off at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Indeed.
Hey, it's Greg McElroy from the Always College Football Podcast. Check out our current episode where we take a look at the 5 quarterback recruiting philosophies that will help you win in 2026. Download it anywhere you get your podcast.
Access to education changes lives. That's why National University provides flexible online and hybrid programs from associate to doctorate degrees. Since 1971, NU was built to serve non-traditional working and military learners nationwide. NU understands the demands of work, family, and service. Each year, more than 130,000 learners trust National University to move forward. Visit nu.edu to learn more.
Hey, did you miss Clinton and Friends?
The Browns finally made a hire. Todd Monken is the new head coach. He will be leading Cleveland next season, and I gotta say, even in a hiring cycle in which Mike McCarthy replaced Mike Tomlin, the Browns have found a way to do something even more underwhelming and more disappointing than even that.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Jim Basquill back on the NBA post-game show on the heels of the Mavs and Rockets. Dallas's Cooper Flagg, the rookie, coming off that 47-point eruption on Thursday, while the Rockets, they needed a win to keep their 4th spot in a tight Western Conference race. The game flow is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Bundle home and auto and save. Visit Progressive.com. Well, the Rockets jumped out early in this one, up 31-28 after the opening quarter, but Cooper Flagg was certainly a factor in this one.
Flagg on the run to the rim, and jams it home with the right hand. Capella was there to contest, and a hair too late. Cooper Flagg with a highlight reel play to get to 11 points.
Awfully impressive. 13 points for Flagg in the opening half. That had the game even at 37. Rockets found the range from beyond the arc late second quarter.
Jabari Smith guarded by Flagg. Steps back to create some spacing. Feeds inside for Şengün, who sees a double coming. Gives to Thompson in the lane. Touch pass up top. Smith, three-pointer to beat the buzzer. And he nails it right before the shot clock expires. Thompson, kick it out. Smith, they slow it down. Şengün left angle. Into the far corner, it's Durant for 3. That's good. 6 seconds left in the first half.
That is unselfish. Jabari Smith Jr. had a wide-open jumper, decided to pass it up, obviously to take up more clock, swung it around, and KD was wide open.
Yeah, KD only had 9 points in the opening half. Jabari Smith led the Rockets with 13. They were up 59-51 halfway through. Big factor in this one, Brandon Williams, who had 13 in the opening half for Dallas, ruled out in the second half with a right leg injury. Third quarter, Rockets open up a double-digit lead.
Amen Thompson on the controls, just celebrated his 23rd birthday yesterday. Hands it off to Durant, lobs it right, and a jam! Alperen Şengün right down Broadway. Just his third made field goal. It's the Rockets by 10, their largest lead of the night.
Watch your head, Najee Marshall. He punished him there as a flare screen. Two defenders go out with a flare man. You get Şengün rolling to the basket hard.
14 points, 14 boards for Şengün. They were up 10. Josh Okogie gave him a lift off the bench.
Washington 1-on-2. He gets it stripped. And now the Rockets have a 4-on-3. Far side corner, Okogie wide open three. Heads good for Josh Okogie. And Jason Kidd and the Mavericks desperately need a timeout.
Yeah, that had him up 13 at 82-69. Okogie had 13 through three quarters. But again, the Mavs would fight back, make it a 5-point game through three at 87-82. Fourth quarter, Amen Thompson.
Najee Marshall gets denied at the rim by Jabari Thompson. Right to left, 4-on-4. Amen Thompson lays it in at the bucket and the foul.
Amen Thompson was hang gliding there. He did show that hang time.
He had an all-around game, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. That finish had him up, again, double digits at 94-83, but Cooper Flagg kept coming.
Mavericks down 8. Here's Flagg trying to do it all. He's got 28, shoots, scores on the foul. Cooper Flagg, Rookie of the Year case being made tonight here in Houston. 103-97, and he can make it a 5-point game at the free throw line.
It's a one-man attack right now. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, 8 straight points for Flagg for the Mavericks. He finished with 34 in all. That had him within a half dozen. Mavericks came all the way back to get even.
Flagg, right side, jumper, it is up the iron. Offensive rebound. Marshall floats it up top for Christie, left angle. Now to Marshall, top of the key. Drives left elbow, pull up for the tie. He got it. We're even at 107.
Yeah, with 47 seconds to go, Najee Marshall with that jumper, but the Rockets' next touch go back up top.
40 seconds to go. Amen Thompson on the dribble. He's got 21 tonight.
2 for 1.
Şengün to the free throw line. Turns to face against Christie. Big size advantage. Bullies his way up. Floats it up at the right and scores. 28.6 to go. Timeout, Mavericks.
Şengün playing some bully ball with 28 ticks to go. 109-107. Houston up top. They get a stop on Flagg, and then Katie finds the open man.
The Mavericks defend. Shot clock is off. It's Durant over the midcourt stripe. He's hounded by Flagg. Oh, he finds a wide open Tari Eason at the left side for a dunk, and it's a 4-point game with 14.4 to go.
On a night Durant only had 13, he gets that feed to Eason to help finish things off. 111-107. The Rockets get it done. Again, Şengün, 14 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists for the winners, offsetting a huge night for Cooper Flagg, who had 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. Houston fending off Dallas to get the W. Coming up next in the NBA postgame show, we've mentioned various times the trade deadline comes Thursday. We got a trade in the NBA, and we'll take you around the league on this Saturday night. You're listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Women's basketball, Sunday on SEC Network. Get out of my way, I'm out. Number 24 Alabama reloads, looking to right the ship.
Simmons fires. German 10-6.
Step away. While number 6 LSU aims for another top 25 victory.
Flash to the rim. Yes.
Get out of my way, I'm out. Number 24 Alabama and number 6 LSU, Sunday at noon Eastern on SEC Network and the ESPN app.
Running a business? You know that slow phone systems and missed messages cost you opportunities. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines communication, helps teams collaborate seamlessly, and respond to customers 24/7 with their AI agent. Join over 90,000 businesses using Quo. Try it free, then get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN, quo.com/ESPN. They'll even port your existing numbers for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
Amber and Ian.
I'm a Dolphins fan in particular, and I have now seen the New England Patriots be the best team in the universe and then go through a full rebuild, and now we're back on top with an NFL MVP caliber quarterback, and here they are back in a Super Bowl, and that whole transition happened, and the Miami Dolphins aren't any closer to even winning a singular playoff game.
Amber and Ian, weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Dan Orlovsky is here, maybe future coach. Are you worried at all about the communication in your ear as a coordinator, considering you couldn't figure out the headsets?
I got some stories of that experience. For all the people who are like, why were you guys bad in Detroit? Play clock is starting. I'm waiting for the play call, and all I hear is... Our offensive coordinator fell asleep.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Mavericks down 8. Here's Flagg trying to do it all. He's got 28. Shoots. Scores on the foul. Cooper Flagg, Rookie of the Year case being made tonight here in Houston. 103-97, and he can make it a 5-point game at the free throw line.
It's a one-man attack right now. He's unbelievable.
And Jim Basketball back on the NBA postgame show with the results of the AutoZone In the Zone poll question. Yeah, the Mavericks came up short on the scoreboard, but it's hard to deny who was in the zone for tonight's matchup, that being the top overall pick, the rookie Cooper Flagg, 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists for the Dallas Mavericks. How about 83 points over the last 2 games for Flagg? That the most in a 2-game span by a member of the Mavericks. In the Zone brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Let us take you around the league on this night. The Rockets win keeps them in the 4th spot in the Western Conference, and they stay a half game up on the Minnesota Timberwolves, who get 33 points from Anthony Edwards, 27 from Julius Randle, in a 131-114 win over the Grizzlies. Ayo Dosunmu had 29 points. The Bulls win in Miami 125-118. Huge night on a day that Paul George is suspended for 25 games for violation of the league's drug policy. Joel Embiid comes up big for Philly.
Joel, and now a switch. Maxey against Zion Williamson to Joel. Embiid for 3. It's up. It's good. A big-time 3. Joel Embiid knocks it down. Trifecta. Sixers by 7.
That's 97-5 at the Fanatic. How about 40 points for Joel Embiid? Sixers 124-114 over the Pelicans. A 13th win on the season for the Pacers. 129-124 over the Hawks. Andrew Nembhard, 23 points on 8 of 10 from the floor. Pascal Siakam, 25 on 11 of 15. Efficient shooting for Indiana. And Brandon Miller's 26 led 6 Hornets in double figures. They've won 6 straight games, taking out the Spurs 111-106. We mentioned the trade deadline comes on Thursday. Well, there is a deal from the NBA on this night. Shams reporting the Kings getting DeAndre Hunter from the Cavs in a 3-team swap. Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis to Cleveland, who saves a salary cap money here. Bulls taking on Dario Saric and getting 2 second-round picks to do so. Once again, our final score, the Rockets over the Mavs. They fend off Dallas 111-107. Our next broadcast comes tomorrow. It's the Lakers and Knicks, with our coverage coming your way at 6:30 Eastern. Coming up next, it's Game Night. For producer Tara Slajewski, technical director Rachel Robinson, and associate producer Steve Risser, as well as Kalena Azabuki and Mike Cousins. I'm Jim Basketball. Thanks for listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Jerry Rice here on the Rich Eisen Show. Who's the best receiver in the NFL today?
I would say probably, I still got to go with Justin Jefferson. And even though he hasn't had a quarterback, this guy can do it all. He can stretch the field. He can out-jump you. He's not afraid to go across the middle. And, there are some great receivers out there, but I would still put him as number 1.
The Rich Eisen Show, from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus. This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Drake May is right up there. He is coached properly, and his accuracy and the ability to utilize his legs, I think that puts him in another dimension. Drake May goes out there in that Super Bowl, and he caps it off with a hell of a game, along with a hell of a season. Drake May will be in my damn top 10.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. The Hoop Collective Podcast.
Kawhi Leonard has been playing at an MVP level. During this stretch, he's averaging basically 32 points on 50, 43, 92 shooting. Playing big-time defense, making all kinds of plays. 2.4 steals per guy. We're watching a two-time Finals MVP playing at that level.
The Hoop Collective Podcast. Listen on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
It's Saturday, January 31st, 2026, and this is Game Night.
Rockets lead by 8. 5:20 to go as the Mavs defend left side. Şengün gets to the rim and jams with the left hand over Moussa Cisse. That's a 100% shot.
Let Kevin Durant serve it up for him instead of making Şengün do it himself. Pick and rolls with Kevin Durant. You get a lane to the basket.
Game Night on ESPN Radio.
Yes, on a Saturday night, ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM, Channel 80. We are presented by Progressive Insurance, 888-729-3776, 888-SAY-ESPN if you want to weigh in on any of the conversations. He is Andre Snellings. I am Keith Irizarry. Behind the scenes, Javon and Jake, and just got a chance to watch and listen to the Mavericks and the Rockets. And Dre, you had Houston winning 111-104. You know, one of the things I look at with the Houston Rockets team is the fact that they can win games when Kevin Durant scores 13 points. It's showing some of their depth. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. The game was good. Life is good. You know, I got a daughter in college who's sending videos of her doing science experiments. Nice. I got a son who got accepted to some colleges this week. So, you know, I'm feeling good.
Oh, let's go. Going to be hard decisions for your son or no?
I think so. He's still waiting to see. I mean, honestly, you got to see where the money comes in at. And so that's going to definitely play a big part in where he ends up. But I think part of him wants to go down to Atlanta. That's where my daughter goes to school in Atlanta, and he applied to a few schools there. My alma mater, Georgia Tech, is in Atlanta, and he wanted to go there. So, you know, we'll see how it ends up.
Show me the money is what you need to throw out there. Yeah.
Straight cash,
all right, so this Rockets team. And I think it's fair to start talking about them as to where they sit. You know, you look at the betting odds, and depending on where you're looking, essentially they're the second or third shortest odds to come out of the West. The Thunder are ahead of them, and that's where we kind of sit. So Durant gives you 13, Jabari Smith Jr. gives you 19, Şengün goes 14-14, Amen Thompson 21-9-8, Tari Eason gives you 17-7. On the flip side, you had Cooper Flagg going 34 points, 12 boards, and 5 assists. As we sit here on Saturday, January 31st at 11:21 p.m. Eastern Time, how do you view the Rockets?
I think that they are a strong team. I think when the season began, they were one of what I felt like was maybe 6 or 7 teams that could at least legitimately plan to get to the conference finals. There's no guarantees because there's not a lot of separation. The Thunder still, even though they've come back to the pack a little bit, they're still clearly number one. But after that, you could throw the Rockets, the Nuggets with Jokic, the Spurs, the Timberwolves, the Lakers with all three of their guys healthy. you could, really throw them in a grab bag and pick one out and toss it up in the air. And I'm not really sure you could say that you felt like they were better than those teams, but I think the Rockets are definitely one of those teams.
What I have enjoyed also watching the Rockets is I think we, collectively thought they'd be an excellent scoring team.
Yeah.
They're giving you about 116 points per game, basically middle of the pack in the NBA. But they're hanging their hat on defense this year. Third best defense in the league as per points per game. I know there's other analytics that we can dive into to kind of rate them. But defense does travel. Defense, as the old adage says, wins championships. If they can continue to lock other teams up, I think they can make a deep run. I like the depth on this team. The fact that how about this? Even a guy like Reed Shepherd, who can't play defense, but he could be your, Vinny Microwave Johnson coming in off the bench. I think they have weapons there that can get them far.
Microwave Johnson. In elementary school, they used to call me the microwave when I played basketball in fifth grade. Nice. I would come in off the bench. But yeah, the Rockets, so last year, right, they were an elite defensive team. They just did not have anybody they could depend on to score. Jalen Green could score. He was their leading scorer. But in the playoffs especially, we saw times when they needed a bucket and he couldn't get it for them. So that was the impetus behind the trade for Kevin Durant, because he is that guy. If nothing else, you give him the ball, he can score it. He's like the Leon Spinks of scorers. He does one thing well. He knocks people out. He scores the bucket. So I think that KD coming there gave them a different dimension, but they still have all of the players that made them an elite defense. Amen Thompson, normally defenses are built from the inside out. The Rockets are the opposite. They're built from the perimeter in on defense. And Amen Thompson, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., even KD can block some shots. He's got that length. So, yeah, they're a strong defensive team, and that's what makes them a playoff team. But Kevin Durant, as the shot maker on that defensive team, is what makes them a contender.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Protect your home and auto. Save when you bundle. Get a quote at Progressive.com.
ESPN Radio, breaking news.
And we do have some breaking news from our own Shams Charania. The Cleveland Cavaliers are trading DeAndre Hunter to the Sacramento Kings for Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis. Sources are telling ESPN the three-team deal includes the Chicago Bulls acquiring Kings forward Dario Saric and 2 future second-round picks. A quick minute or so spent on this one. Dre, what are your reactions?
Yeah, so on the surface, my first thought is, what does this say about Darius Garland, the point guard for the Cavaliers? He was injured coming into the season. He's played, gotten injured, gotten injured. He's currently out. And he's their star point guard. He was a big reason why they had the top record in the Eastern Conference last year. And so the fact that they just traded for Dennis Schroeder, who's a starting caliber point guard, to me, it makes me wonder if maybe they want to give Garland a little more rest, or if there might be more to it. But outside of that's the big takeaway, because the Kings aren't contending. So their part of the trade isn't to win games.
Yeah, and Keon Ellis wasn't getting a lot of time in Sacramento. I'm not sure what he can do for the Cavaliers from the DeAndre Hunter Cavaliers side of things. He was giving you like 17 points per game. He was going to be getting about $23 million and then $24 million next year. So I was trying to look at contract stuff. I think you nailed it. I think this is we need Dennis Schroeder to help our team out for now and potentially going forward. So from that trade to maybe more trades on the horizon over the next week or so. Speaking of trades, the big question is, Giannis, where might he land? Maybe we have some answers. It's Game Night, ESPN Radio, ESPN app.
Coming up on the Monday edition of Unsportsmanlike with Chris Canty, Michelle Spellman, and me, Evan Cohen. We'll get you ready for Super Bowl week. Plus, we're less than a week away from the NBA trade deadline. I'll tell you which teams need to make a deal. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. SafeStep walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
It was a one-team market for Sam Darnold. The team that he won 14 games with last year didn't want him. The other teams around the National Football League, none of them really wanted him. Seattle paid him, but if you look at the structure of that contract, it really is a year-to-year proposition. And they were rewarded for taking a chance on Sam Darnold with him taking them to the Super Bowl.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
ESPN presents the NHL Stadium Series in a most unexpected place. A hockey takeover of Tampa, Florida and Raymond James Stadium, where the Boston Bruins collide with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Two teams take their shot at a one-of-a-kind game. The 2026 Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series. Bruins, Lightning, Sunday at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Which teams are making moves and which teams need to just flat out move? Your Saturday means I'm locked in and ready for First Take right here, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Do I have to give y'all a class? Do I need to send a football for dummies center to you, Greg Vaughn and Courtney Morgan? We can't run the ball.
Oh, my God. Weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and the SEC Network.
The Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny. John Harbaugh to the Giants, Kevin Stefanski to the Falcons, Sean McDermott fired, on top of course, Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh being fired, Jeff Hafley to the Dolphins, Robert Saleh to the Titans. Which surprises you the most?
The McDermott one was the biggest. It felt like he was coaching for his job in a way that we didn't anticipate before.
Check out The Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Ed Benkin. First up, the NBA, where two Texas rivals did battle tonight in Houston. In the end, it was the Rockets coming out on top against the Mavericks.
40 seconds to go. Amen Thompson on the dribble. He's got 21 tonight.
2 for 1.
Şengün to the free throw line. Turns to face against Christie. Big size advantage. Bullies his way up. Floats it up on the right and scores. 28.6 to go. Timeout, Mavericks.
That call from Mike Cousins on ESPN Radio as Houston wins at 111-107. The Sixers beat the Pelicans without Paul George, 124-114. George has been suspended for 25 games for violating the league's drug policy. George said it was from taking improper medication for his mental health. Also in the NBA tonight, several other teams in action, including the Pacers, who got just their 13th win of the season, beating the Hawks 129-124. Timberwolves over the Grizzlies 131-114. Out of college basketball on ESPN, the rivalry resuming between number 6 Gonzaga and St. Mary's. They are tied at 33 in the final minute of the first half. Also tonight, number 2 UConn beat Creighton 85-58. Huskies 21-1 overall, 11-0 now in the Big East. Meanwhile, number 1 Arizona remains unbeaten, 22-0, knocking off Arizona State 87-74. Also unbeaten, the Red Hawks. Miami of Ohio, 24th ranked team in the country, 22-0 after beating Northern Illinois 85-61. Baseball court, ESPN's Jorge Castillo. The Giants and Luis Arraez have agreed on a 1-year contract.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty. Coming up Monday, Drake May and Sam Darnold will get all the headlines, but I'll tell you which players will decide the Super Bowl. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Shams Charania reporting the Bucks are listening to offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo ahead of the February 5th trade deadline.
Giannis has made it clear that he believes it's time to part ways after 13 years together.
The Golden State Warriors are a team that immediately rises to the top of the list. Steph Curry is there. They have immediate need for a star player, and everybody else, I think, is going to try to beat a strong Golden State offer if it comes.
I don't think people are understanding the gravity of what's happening right now. But for NBA teams, hell, NBA fans, this is their Super Bowl.
Got the good tunes on this Saturday night. Of course, it is game night, ESPN Radio, the ESPN app. He is Andre Stellings. I am Keith Irizarry. Javon and Jake behind the scenes. Took you through the Mavericks and the Rockets. Their game that just ended a little bit ago, 111-104, Houston wins. But I think the big talk around the NBA is clearly around Giannis with the NBA trade deadline nearing in on us. Giannis currently the third longest tenured player with a single franchise, trailing only Steph Curry. Draymond Green with the Warriors would be the first time that a multi-time MVP would be traded midseason in NBA history. Before we get to some of the other, pundits that have spoken this week on this, I want to dive into your brain there, Dre.
Yeah.
So with Giannis, let's first start here. How likely do you think it is that he is traded during this season?
So what Shams and others are saying, it sounds like it's reasonably likely. So this week after his injury, so the NBA trade deadline, we have to say, is this coming Thursday. So everything would have to happen before Thursday for him to be traded this season. But last week, when it was announced that he had a calf injury and he was going to be down for a little while, the speculation was off and running. And initially, Brian Windhorst was saying, well, the Bucks don't necessarily have to trade him this season because if they hold on to him, looks like they're headed for the lottery. I believe it's the Pelicans. The Bucks don't control their own first round pick this year. They get like the worst of the two picks between them and I want to say the Pelicans, but the Pelicans have the worst record in the NBA. And so if the Bucks were to get a lottery pick, they could maybe try to make the case to Giannis that, well, this lottery pick, we can, it will be added talent. And then when you come back healthy, we could try to make a run, build for the future. But from what Shams and others have been saying, it sounds as though now maybe Giannis is finally starting to say it. There's been speculation all year, but Giannis had not said that he wanted to be traded. So if he's also stepped in like, hey, it's time to go, I have to think that increases the odds that it'll actually happen.
Yeah, the vibe I'm getting is that Giannis wants out, and whether, I jokingly said so I teach a class at Hofstra University. I was talking with some of the students, and we were discussing this, and I turned a person's name into a verb. And I jokingly said that I feel like Giannis is quietly James Hardening. Okay. And I think that he is forcing his way out without trying to look like the bad guy. He's, got whatever this injury is. And
I thought you were going to say without wearing the fat suit. I'm sorry.
No. I wasn't going to go there. But I do like to turn people's names into verbs sometimes.
Yeah.
Like in the Jay-Z song, Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so I think he wants out. With that being said, I do think a trade happens before Thursday. I think that we will find a way to get him out of Milwaukee. That then lends us to, where does he go? So before you and I respond to that, let's listen to some of the others. How about Vince Goodwill, ESPN senior NBA writer, was on Unsportsmanlike.
I think there's only, to this point, 3 teams that are on Giannis's list. 3. Minnesota, Miami, and the New York Knicks. That's it. As of today, that was the list.
Okay, so that would be the list of where Giannis would want to go. Let's react to that first before we get to some of the windy sound. So do you believe that Giannis would want to go to those 3 teams?
I think those are 3 teams that Giannis would be open to going to. I don't necessarily agree with my man Vince that it's the complete list. On that show, Vince was on there with Monica McNutt, who covers the Knicks, and there was a lot of talk about how both he and Monica, kind of wanted to see him end up in New York. So both were pretty adamant that Golden State would not be the pick. And Vince talked about how old Steph Curry and Draymond Green are, and would Giannis want to go play with a team of old guys, basically. But again, I'm not sure I agree. I don't know how much of that was Vince's opinion versus how much he's been talking to other people or maybe hearing that that's what Giannis is saying. But to me, there was an article ran on ESPN a few days ago where they kind of broke down what all 30 teams could offer. And it was my guy Bobby Marks who did the article. And he had 11 teams listed that could give up potentially enough to get Giannis back. I feel like any of the teams from that list that actually made a trade for Giannis would be willing to go to, because most of them are contenders, right? He mentioned the Pistons. He has the Warriors on here. He mentions the Rockets, talks about the Heat like Vincent, the Timberwolves, the Knicks, the Thunder. Like, these are all teams that, depending on what they give up, if they don't give up their core guys and they're able to get Giannis, it could put any of them over the top. And I would have to feel like that was what Giannis would be looking for. Plus, he's in the last year of his deal. So if he doesn't sign an extension, this doesn't have to be a long-term destination.
I'm in New York, Dre, and, I have so many people, and I cover a lot of the New York teams. So I have so many people, it's the Knicks, right? It's the Knicks, right? Unless there's a third team involved, I don't see how the Knicks can make this happen. They don't have any of the draft capital is not there. You got to match contracts, and I know that Cat would probably be a part of it. I guess OG Anunoby is a relatively sexy piece for some other teams. I don't know how it works. But, all right, let's spin it forward a little bit further. On the 2 p.m. Sports Center, ESPN senior NBA writer Brian Windhorst talked about a place he thinks that Giannis might want to go.
Giannis's desires here have a factor in any trade conversation because he only has 1 year left on his contract. And he would be in position to inform a team that was trading for him whether he intended to sign a contract extension this summer or not. I do not believe that necessarily has been given out to any team yet, including the Warriors. And that could slow down this entire process. Whether Giannis would even wants to show his hand on that is a factor in this situation. But what you're willing to pay for a star player relative to contract status makes a huge difference in the potential offer. So the Warriors definitely have the most of any team that can offer in a straight-up two-team trade. There are other teams who could go out there and get a third or fourth team. But before you initiate any of that stuff, you would want to know that Giannis really intended to resign.
And, of course, as always, Brian Windhorst nails it there. So if the Golden State thing worked, and again, one of the only teams that can do this straight up, there's, you can go on the trade machine and kind of figure this out. There are machinations to make this work. So one of them would be Kuminga, Podziemski, Moody, and then a whole boatload of first-round picks, but still the money doesn't match. You'd have to deal Jimmy Butler as a part of this.
Yeah.
He's injured. He's not going to play this year. It would make this work. I'm on record saying if I'm Golden State, I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. I would go for the one last-ditch effort of pairing Giannis with Steph and seeing if we can win a title over the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. So the initial buzz that I was hearing from the Warriors ownership and front office was that Jimmy Butler, they want to have some loyalty to him, and they're like, "Hey, we don't have any intention of trading him. He's our guy." But yeah, you look at the scenario and you just look at the math, right? Like Steph and Draymond are combined 75 years old, and Jimmy Butler is in that age range, and he's now coming off of a torn ACL. So what is the likelihood that he gets back and is an impact player during the time window when you're still expecting the best of what remains out of Steph and Draymond? So just from a business perspective, because you're right, the trade package would have to center around Jimmy Butler because of his salary. But, oh, by the way, Jonathan Kuminga, who's a young player with an incredible amount of talent, who's shown that he can be a 20-point-per-game player right now. Like, he's done it multiple times, but that he also tends to fall out of the rotation in Golden State because the way that he plays isn't the way that Steve Kerr wants him to play. But you've got those two as a centerpiece. Yeah, this seems like a deal that would make sense for Golden State and would make sense for Milwaukee. And would make sense for Giannis and Steph, because Steph knows he doesn't have that many more chances at the rodeo. And for Giannis, what's the defense on Giannis? It's always been build a wall. We're going to build a wall. We're going to keep Giannis out the lane. Well, if you take 3 or 4 people to build a wall, then who's guarding Steph Curry? And the way that you defend Steph Curry is basically a wall 40 feet from the rim. So the two of them together just feels like that would be almost a cheat code. And that's why when, Vince and Monica were on the show and they were talking about how they couldn't see that deal happening, I'm like, it almost makes too much sense to me not to happen.
I'm with you. And, you talked a lot more on the Warriors side. I mean, you alluded to for the Bucks side. The Bucks would come out with this. Like, if they got Kuminga, Pods, and Moody, you're getting one legit starter. Pods may be a starter. Moody, who knows, because he really hasn't gotten the chance in Golden State. Mm-hmm. And if you're talking about 3 or 4 first-round picks as well, you're projecting out to be able to have draft capital, whether you're using it to actually draft people or then turn around and make more trades down the road. It would be a win-win for both sides. I think there are going to be a lot of conversations had over the next couple of days, and we have no idea what will happen. My gut is Giannis is dealt before the trade deadline. There was a time where Giannis was a young player in the NBA, and we weren't sure what he would be. There are some young players on the college landscape. How about some freshman stars that were battling it out in Kansas? But now the new question becomes, who should be number 1 overall in the upcoming draft? It is Game Night on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and SiriusXM, Channel 80.
Super Week 2026 on ESPN Radio. The latest news.
Josh McDaniel and his offense, can you hit some big plays?
Predictions and reactions.
Seahawks, Patriots.
Super Week 2026.
This is it. We're here.
Live from San Francisco, California.
Touchdown.
Next week on ESPN Radio. Presented by SoFi. NBA Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's an interleague showdown at the Garden.
Dribbles to the right, takes 2 defenders, ducks under, up and under, layup's good. What a move by Doncic.
Luka, LeBron, and the Los Angeles Lakers go head-to-head with Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks.
Brunson with a jab step, fires a 3. Oh, what a big shot!
The Lakers at the Knicks. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern, with tip-off at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
ESPN Plus Hockey Night presents the Sunshine State rivalry.
It's always a battle when these two teams meet.
Panthers.
What a goal by Brad Marchand!
Lightning.
Nikita Kucherov! It's a lightning strike!
In the Battle of Florida.
Buckle up, strap in. It's going to be a tremendous show.
ESPN Plus Hockey Night presented by Honda. Panthers Lightning. Thursday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app.
Which teams are making moves and which teams need to just flat out move? Your Saturday means I'm locked in and ready for First Take right here, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
The Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny. John Harbaugh to the Giants, Kevin Stefanski to the Falcons, Sean McDermott fired, on top of course, Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh being fired, Jeff Hafley to the Dolphins, Robert Saleh to the Titans. Which surprises you the most?
The McDermott one was the biggest. It felt like he was coaching for his job in a way that we didn't anticipate before.
Check out the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, we'll get you ready for Super Bowl week. Plus, we're less than a week away from the NBA trade deadline. I'll tell you which teams need to make a deal. It's on Sportsman, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
May I gather your attention, please?
The NFL Pro Bowl games are back. The league's biggest stars of the year show off on a brand new stage in San Francisco, celebrating the season with an AFC-NFC showdown, flag football style. One game, all the sellers. The 2026 Pro Bowl games, powered by Verizon. Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Also streaming on the ESPN app.
Amber and Ian.
Devin Fitzsimmons is an assistant special teams coach for the Seattle Seahawks. Who cried more the moment that your team won the NFC Championship? You, or was it your big brother, my co-host Ian?
My older brother was like, bro, your brother was a hot mess.
I was.
This dude is balling like it's the end of Steel Magnolias. It was unbelievable.
Amber and Ian. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
There's that zone again. Darren out top. Usually this is an alley-oop.
Peterson gets around his man, hangs.
Oh, my! A right-hand hammer! He fires it home! A poster dunk on an electric day in Allen Fieldhouse.
Wow.
Brian Hattie from Learfield on the call as Kansas holds off BYU and wins earlier in the day on Saturday. It is game night on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and Sirius XM Channel 80. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. 888-729-3776, 888-SAY-ESPN. Andre Snellings, Keith Irizarry with you. And Darren Peterson ends up with 18 points, all of them in the first half, goes 6 for 8, but ends up basically not playing much in the second half, was dealing with some cramps. On the other side, this was a matchup a lot of people were waiting for. AJ Debonsa from BYU, 17 points, tied for his third least this year. AJ's awesome. Darren's awesome. We can go further with this and with the Cam Boozers and the Koa Peets and the Caleb Wilsons and the Darius Acuffs and on and on and on and on. It is an awesome freshman just crop of players. Watching that game, seeing what Peterson was able to do in just a half, watching that game, seeing Debonsa struggle a little bit, but knowing what he can do. What's your takeaway on these two guys, Dre?
Yeah, I mean, I think early on in their freshman season, that what you just described is kind of the narrative that's forming, right? Because Darren Peterson, he seems like he's kind of cementing himself at the top of the mock drafts as the guy that looks like he might be the number 1 overall type pick. Whereas Debonsa, he's really balled against teams that aren't that great, been like a 24, 25 point per game player. But when he's played against the really good teams, it's been more like tonight, 17, 19 points. Tonight he was 6 for 12 from the field, which isn't too bad, but I think he's shooting only 39% or something like that against the good teams. So it feels like at this stage of the season, Debonsa maybe has a little more to prove if he wants to really be in consideration for the top pick.
So I've covered both of these kids, got a chance to watch both of these kids, and I fell in love with AJ Debonsa's game, which, by the way, in high school, it was Debonsa. Now he switched to Debonsa in college. So for a while,
Joe Theismann?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of that. I can remember the kicker from the Raiders, Marquette King, who was actually, its real name is actually Marquette, but he just stopped correcting people.
Yeah.
So I love AJ's potential. 6'9", is going to jump through the roof, can do a lot of different things. I'm seeing more flaws in his game collegiately than I'm seeing in Darren Peterson and then some of the other freshmen. I think it's clear that Darren is the more polished player. I think when you start getting the comparisons to Kobe Bryant, and he's got the same kind of frame, built very well, 6'5", 6'6", can jump through the roof, got a jump shot, moment is never too big for him. I think all of those things lend themselves to what the future is going to be for him. Before we get into the topic of what Peterson and Debonsa and some of these other guys can be in the NBA, Bill Self, Kansas Jayhawks head coach, after the win on what happened in this one and on Darren Peterson.
Great day and proud of our guys. The only thing that's unfortunate about the whole thing, although, obviously Marco got nicked up and DP got cramps, but short turnaround. So, there's no time to really rest up because we got to take on a, great team on Monday night.
DP meaning Darren Peterson with the cramps. It was odd on the broadcast. They weren't mentioning why he wasn't playing. It was a little weird. It almost
no one was going to notice.
Yeah, I got the feeling like Kansas just didn't want to let anybody know. Suddenly he goes out at 16:46 and you're like, all right, this game's getting close. Why isn't he going back in? But Kansas did hold on. When you look at a number 1 overall selection, and you've covered the NBA for a long time, WNBA for a long time, so the landscape of, the professional ranks. When you're looking at who can be a number 1 pick, what are you looking at mostly especially with guys like Peterson and Debonsa?
Yeah, it's got to be a combination of upside and sure thingness, right? So earlier when you were talking about Debonsa, you were talking about how his raw measurables and, his size and explosiveness for the way he plays the position, that gives him upside, but that his game maybe isn't quite as polished yet. Sometimes with the top overall pick, you'll see picks get made just on that upside where he's like, man, just no one else. They used to say you can't teach tall, but you also can't teach, explosiveness and some of the things that can be done by these elite athletes. It just can't be taught. But what you really don't want to do is swing and miss, particularly in a draft class like this one coming up, where it seems like it could be one of those generational type draft classes. You mentioned the Kobe comparison for DP. Well, that 96 draft class, people remember that in NBA history, right? The 2003 draft class with LeBron, the 1984 draft class with Michael Jordan. It's still a ways to go, but this could be one of those types of draft classes. So if you end up with the top pick in a historic draft class, to me, you have to go with someone that you feel like is going to be more of a sure thing, because you just can't be the one that's left out. Right? In LeBron's draft class, Darko Milicic went second, and the Pistons whiffed with that, right? Whereas Carmelo.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
What a silly reason for the Milicic one, too, right?
Yeah.
Like we already have Prince here, so we don't need Carmelo Anthony. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, and so, but in that draft class, right, the 3 pick was Carmelo, and the 4 pick was what, Chris Bosh, and then Dwayne Wade was 5.
Yep.
So,
and then Kirk Heinrich, I think, was after that.
Yeah.
Had a nice career.
And so you would say, well, you sure don't want to be the Pistons, but then they traded for Rasheed Wallace, won a championship. So maybe it didn't matter. But in general, if you got one of those top pick or two, you can't take too much of a risk, because you got to make sure you don't just miss out.
What's interesting, too, is I'm not positive DeBonce's number 2.
Yeah.
Like, with what Cam Boozer is doing and how well-rounded his game looks, like, depending on who's picking at number 2. So I think, barring something catastrophic, I think it's Peterson number 1. I think he's the most, polished and ready NBA guy, the most quote-unquote can't miss. And I know there can't miss, sometimes you do miss, but the most can't miss. I think Boozer and DeBonce are the next 2. I think Caleb Wilson is someone at 6'10" that is showing out in UNC. And then who's to say if Houston actually wins an NCAA championship this year and Kingston Flemings continues to have 40-point outings, that he's not going to maybe slide up to number 3.
Yeah. I mean, and anytime you've got that type of density of players that could all go top 3 without anyone blinking about it, then you're going to end up with a really strong draft class. And kind of spinning it back a little bit to what we were just talking about earlier, the Bucks or any team that's trying to make trades, they really have to look at this draft class and say, hey, do I either A, want to trade Giannis without having the chance to get back a high pick in what's going to be an elite draft class, or if I'm the other team, am I willing to give up a pick that could end up a high pick in this class for Giannis? So we're talking about how the players look, but it also really factors into the NBA and what we see happen in the next week before the trade deadline.
I think you nailed it, too. I think that if you're going to be making these trades, you have to be very careful, because if this is a 2003 type of draft, you do not want to be the team that trades out of having a top 4 or 5 pick. And the next thing you know, you don't get. I mean, honestly, even look at what we're seeing right now with Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper looks good and Con Kneppel looks good. I mean, like, go on and on.
VJ Edgecombe.
VJ. And I mean, I'm still not out on Ace Bailey. I think that we forget about him.
Yeah, the last week or two, he's been playing like better than he had before. It seems like he's starting to get it.
Yeah, it's an interesting NBA landscape we have. We can dive into it a little bit more. Again, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776 says we are now nearing in on a week away from the Super Bowl. You've got the Seahawks waiting, thinking it's theirs. You've got the Patriots, maybe it'll be them. We're going to talk about that Lombardi Trophy. Who's hoisting it in the Bay Area? It's game night on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and, of course, on SiriusXM, Channel 80.
Coming up on the Monday edition of Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Michelle Smallman, and me, Chris Canty. Drake May and Sam Darnold will get all the headlines, but I'll tell you which players will decide the Super Bowl. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
NBA Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's an interleague showdown at the Garden.
Dribbles to the right, takes two defenders, ducks under, up and under, layup's good. What a move by Doncic.
Luka LeBron and the Los Angeles Lakers go head-to-head with Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks.
Brunson with a jab step, fires a three. Oh, what a big shot!
The Lakers at the Knicks. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern with tip-off at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Indeed.
You get the best cards of all. Oh, did I just... Oh, that sound like a rhyme there. I'm a new rapper. Paul, let that one roll off the bat.
Fun Bomb. Weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and the SEC Network.
Which teams are making moves and which teams need to just flat out move? Your Saturday means I'm locked in and ready for First Take right here, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
The Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny.
John Harbaugh to the Giants, Kevin Stefanski to the Falcons, Sean McDermott fired, on top of course, Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh being fired, Jeff Hafley to the Dolphins, Robert Saleh to the Titans. Which surprises you the most?
The McDermott one was the biggest. It felt like he was coaching for his job in a way that we didn't anticipate before.
Check out the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Because he's attached to Sean McDermott, when you go in for that first team meeting, you have to let guys know this is the Joe Brady show. This is the way we're going to do things. I'm familiar with everyone in this room, but moving forward, we're going to do things different than what we did in the past. It has to be that way, right? Because why did they hire you if it's not going to be that way?
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. This is SportsCenter.
I'm Ed Benkin. First up, the NBA in a battle in Texas. Houston able to get past Dallas tonight, 111-107, as the Rockets hold on to the fourth spot in the Western Conference. Meanwhile, in the East, the Sixers beat the Pelicans 124-114 thanks to 40 points and 11 rebounds by Joel Embiid. The Sixers played this game without Paul George. He has been suspended for 25 games for violating the league's drug policy. George said it came from taking improper medication for his mental health. On Inside the NBA on ESPN, Charles Barkley said George should get a pass.
If the NBA and, DeMar DeRozan, who we love, and Kevin Love, they've been the two most outspoken advocates for mental health. But if you're taking some for mental health, even if it's on a list, you should get a hall pass.
Meanwhile, a trade, according to ESPN Shams Charania, the Cavaliers are sending DeAndre Hunter to the Sacramento Kings for Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis. Three-team deal would include the Chicago Bulls acquiring Kings forward Dario Saric and 2 future second-round picks. College basketball, second half on ESPN. St. Mary's leading number 6 Gonzaga 46-41. Number 1 Arizona now 22-0 in the season. They knock off Arizona State 87-74. Also earlier tonight, Kentucky takes down number 15 Arkansas 85-78. Coming up on ESPN at 3:30 a.m. Eastern, it will be the men's final of the Australian Open as Carlos Alcaraz takes on Novak Djokovic. Baseball, according to ESPN's Jorge Castillo, the Giants and Luis Arraez have agreed on a 1-year contract.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Monday, Super Bowl week is finally here. I'll tell you why I'm excited to see what Drake May and Sam Darnold have in store for us. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
It's Saturday, January 31st, 2026, and this is Game Night.
Drake May is right up there. He is coached properly, and his accuracy and the ability to utilize his legs, I think that puts him in another dimension. Drake May goes out there in that Super Bowl, and he caps it off with a hell of a game, along with a hell of a season. Drake May will be in my damn top 10.
Game Night on ESPN Radio.
And the calendar on the East Coast has turned to February, Sunday, February 1st, as we go to 12:02 a.m. on the East. He is Andre Snellings. I am Keith Irizarry. You're listening to Game Night on ESPN and ESPN Radio, the ESPN app. The Super Bowl now, just a week away. The week off is always like fascinating. The week between, before we get to, Super Bowl, press row and all that stuff that's going to be happening and everyone pontificating on what they believe is going to happen. Let's give you the nuts and the bolts. Seahawks are 4.5-point favorites. What does that mean? Vegas believes that Seattle will win by 5 or more points. That's the odds-on favorite there against the New England Patriots. Broad stroke, when you think about matchups, how exciting do you view this, Dre?
It's exciting. Okay, it's exciting to me because we've got arguably the teams that were the best in their conferences all season long. So you love to see that. But we also have new blood for the first time in a while, right? Like, this isn't the Chiefs and the Eagles and the 49ers, like blue bloods, or at least recent blue bloods. This is old school blue bloods in New England, but coming back with the new school quarterback. So I'm interested to see how this plays out, because we've got two quarterbacks that are both on the verge of stardom, but how they play in this game will determine what their legend and history is.
Let's go to the guest hotline and bring in SI NFL staff writer Matt Verderam, now joining me, Keith Irizarry.